Blitz up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off at the flat. It's Lynch.
You're better off just rolling it down the field, the 40-yard line, than kicking a line drive to number 15.
And here he goes. The quarterback is on the loose. Here's Post up the middle. Post has got a seam and he's gone. Pretty makes one man miss. Spins away from a second. 10 still alive at the 5. Play action. Black to throw. Caught by Soden. Finley to his left. Throws across the body. Looking for Peters. He's got him on the run. Meanwhile, handoff. He's got it. Look now. To the house, Emmanuel Post. They're going to air it out. Deep down the near sideline. Touchdown! Legendary! Unbelievable. The holder is Sabani. It's clean. The kick is up. Good. And good. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Manchester. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week between the Trinity Pioneers and the Plymouth Bobcats. Two of the contenders in Division 2 as we head into week number 3 statewide tonight. The lights are on, the turf field looks good, fans continue to file in. And we, Steve, are on hand for what should be a competitive game. Two teams at 2-0 as they head into week number 3.
Yeah, Nick, we had both these coaches on last night, and they are have a lot of similar styles. They love to run the football, play action out of it. Watching both teams and their offensive sets, going to be no surprises there. It's going to be all about execution and the ability to win the line of scrimmage in time of possession. That's what this game's all about. Looking forward to it. Both coaches impressed me very much. This new Division 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah, kind of a new rivalry unfolding here tonight. Pioneers and Bobcats. They'll kick off at the top of the hour. When we come back, coin toss, national anthem, Steve's keys to the game, and then, as we said, some football here on a Friday night. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
Well, welcome back here to the Queen City. Plymouth and Trinity getting set to kick off at the top of the hour in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas with Steve Beals. Both teams, Steve, are 2-0. Plymouth, 2 shutouts. 55-0 over Milford, 41-zip over Kennett, while Trinity has won a couple of shootouts over Hanover and Kingswood, both on the road. What needs to happen tonight? You mentioned the line of scrimmage, time of possession, but what else?
Well, I mean, both. There's a key for both these teams that has to win the line of scrimmage. There's no argument. When you have the offenses that these teams run, you've got to be able to do that. Let's go on the Trinity side. Let's start on defense for them. One of the things that they have got to do is they've got to get that off-tackle run, Nick, because that's when they blow out big yardage and begin to wear you down. There's a combination. Plymouth loves to be able to wedge and wall in the outside backer and the inside backer, and then that allows the edge to open up for them. They get a kick-out block because they got 3 backs running as well. They get the kick-out block, and they explode through that. And Plymouth has been able to do something really special with it. They get through it so quickly because their offense, every kid is running this offense at a very, very young age, and by the time they come through, it's just second nature. So you've got to be able to, as Coach Rob said last night, Cathcart, excuse me. What Coach Rob said last night is so true. He's got to meet them at the line of scrimmage and got to turn those 17-yard legitimate gains into 5 or 6. And if they can stop them and contain it, you're forcing them to narrow the playbook, and that's not a position that Plymouth is going to want to be in. That's their bread and butter. Then they trap inside. You go outside to try to honor it, then they trap you inside. As far as Plymouth is concerned, they've got to score first. I really believe, I think the 2 things here, win the line of scrimmage, 3 things, win the line of scrimmage, win the time of possession, and then score first. I think whoever scores first in this game is going to have a distinct advantage. I just feel with these guys it's going to be harder to come from behind. It's going to be more than a typical first score of a typical game on a spread offense where you can march right down the field. And the last thing I'll say is the special teams this time of year, when you get into starting a lot of, like you look at the size of the rosters here. When you're looking at a Londonderry or Pinkerton, there's plenty of room in the roster to get juniors and seniors as starting players on that. In this case, it's a little bit different, that playing at a varsity level. I think that special teams are going to come into play here, protection of the football, all the same things. But number one and foremost is time of possession, I believe, will win this game.
A cool night, 62 degrees here. Sun has gone down. We are getting set for which should be the opening coin toss in a matter of minutes. Folks are still filing in. Already a big crowd on hand. Some of the braver students shirtless over to our right. That's the Standing Pioneer student section, one of the more notorious student sections statewide. They are out in force tonight. And again, the lights are on and bright here on this field that still seems, Steve, new. At least to the longtime residents. It's 3 or 4 years old at this point, but one of the nicer facilities, especially across Division II.
Absolutely, Nick. Years ago, my boys practiced up on the hill in the outfield of the baseball field, and you'd look down here, and I remember they'd play soccer down here, and they'd have practices down here and such. And so many people, as well as myself, have said, when you look at this property today, it was almost unimaginable to see how in the world they reconfigured this piece of land to the extent that they did. Division II or Division I, Nick, this is one of the nicest facilities, and the backdrop and of it is just beautiful with the trees and everything. And it's really given the opportunity for the programs at Trinity to develop a real home field. You're right over the action. There's no track around the field. You're right over the action, and that just makes it really exciting for the spectators and us up here as well.
A bit of a cheer as the Pioneers emerge.
I just wanted to call attention. You were talking about the guys with the shirts off out here. I mean, that's a regular occurrence, but just understand these guys do this in November too. I mean, they're still out here in November. They're got a great fan section. I know, Nick, you're a big basketball guy as well. Played the game at a high level yourself, and when you go into Trinity High School and you see that Trinity crowd and they're supporting inside of a gym,
they can be a factor.
They can be a huge,
absolutely.
In this case, 6-man.
I use the word. Infamous, notorious, whatever, but it's all of course, in complimentary fashion. All right, the Pioneers welcomed by the student section as they hit the field in their home reds, the white helmets and blue
jacked
lettering.
up.
They're 2-0. 2 road wins. First home game tonight. They downed Hanover 27-21 to open the season, and followed that up with a road win at Kingswood last week, 35-27. Rob Cathcart is the head coach now in his 9th season. Of course, one of the highlights of his career came last November when his squad won the Division III state championship. Yeah. Now, of course, full-fledged members of D2.
And we had him on our Gridiron Show. For those who don't know, folks, we have a Gridiron Show that Thursday night we have the coaches of the upcoming games come on. We had Coach Rob Cathcart and Coach from Plymouth last night. And it was just a great opportunity to talk to Coach Sanborn and talk to Coach Cathcart. And then before that, we had Joe Marshallina, who really did a great job of kind of filling us in some of the cracks. He's everywhere, so he's able to almost get an answer to every question. But both of these coaches really impressed me. They know exactly what they want to do on all 3 phases of the game, and they executed at a high level. To win a championship at any level is difficult to do. But Coach Cathcart, Nick, stopped and talked to us a little bit about the administration of the school, and he got together as well as other coaches and decided that Division II, it was the right time after the success they had at Division III, and they continue to build numbers. So this is just, with Plymouth coming in, and it's just fantastic. Division II, I'm sure that Souhegan's got to be excited as well as Pelham to have these other teams in with them.
Well, tonight, a busy night statewide in a competitive Division II. There are 5 unbeaten teams through 2 weeks of the schedule. The 2 on display tonight, obviously, amongst that group. Souhegan, you mentioned.
Yep.
Manchester West is 2-0. And
isn't that exciting?
Defending champion Pelham alive and well. Their win streak intact, 4th longest in the nation at 43 straight.
Absolutely. And Coach Preventure just sent us a text saying that apparently the Conval can't cancel the game. I assume that would automatically go to a forfeit. He didn't. He suggested that there's no rematch or replay.
Yeah, that appears to be breaking news.
Breaking news right now. I'm not.
The West Conval game will not be played tonight. More information
will be coming.
Will come later.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the captains are on the field. Plymouth with 3. The home team represented by 4 Pioneer captains in red. Our officials tonight, good group. Fred Russell, the referee, he flips the coin. And Plymouth is going to win the toss and elect to receive, as Coach Sanborn wants the football. As you mentioned, we spoke with Coach last night, now in his 11th season. Of course, follows the great Chuck Linehan, Hall of Famer, and has built an impressive resume in his own right that included a quote-unquote surprise run to last year's state championship game where they fell to Pelham, but nonetheless, 10-2 overall. He inherits a large part of that group in 2023. Meanwhile, let's go down to the field for the national anthem. Well, there it is, the national anthem, setting the stage. for the Pioneers. And Plymouth looking to maintain their spot in the New Hampshire Union Leader top 10. They are the only Division II team ranked. They came in this week at their highest rank of the year at number 7. Overall, an impressive win would certainly help bolster that standing.
I think this is a big game. This has playoff contention, Nick, as it comes down to seedings later on. Both of these teams, I got to believe, are playoff bound. They're just too good not to think of them that way. Plymouth was hanging around the top 10, if not in it, and I think they were well placed and deserve that position. We're going to see that now. I think if Trinity can come close or even pull out a win tonight, we'll see what happens there. So
we welcome those of you watching on Pemmy Baker TV as well. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Please hit the subscribe button. If you are not familiar with where our home base is, it's, of course, on YouTube, FNLNH Media. Hit the subscribe button as we will guide you through, well, this week, a triple header, but mostly a double header, usually every weekend as we move forward. All right, Trinity going to kick off and Plymouth to receive. So the Bobcats in their road whites will work left to right. Trinity's kicker is Alex Garand, the junior.
Such a big deal, Nick, to get started right for both of these teams. That's one, I would say, other than time of possession, is my number one key that I would say. Get started off early.
This one a short kick. Logan Trusock gets underneath it at the 25, makes his way across the 30 before he's spun down and tackled at about the 31-yard line. Two Pioneer special teamers in on the action. So here's this Plymouth offense. We hear about it, Steve. Run-oriented, a number of running backs expected to touch it tonight. In fact, 12 different ball carriers have had their hands on the football through the first two games.
Yeah, Coach Sanborn and his assistants offensively will be looking for the corners to screw down and the safety stepping up early, start to buy the fake of the run, and that's when they'll go downtown, Nick, with a deep, either seam pass, any kind of a route deep, cross pattern, whatever. Here we go.
Luke Diamond is the captain. The 5'9" senior quarterback takes the snap. Handoff is to the right side, and this one bottled up, but that pile continues to move forward.
Nice run.
Some strong running out of the gate for Plymouth's Ben Valente. One to watch tonight. 3 scores already under his belt as we get set for what? A second down and 3 coming up.
That 7-yard first down is exactly what Coach Sanborn and crew want. They want to open up their playbook. It puts a lot of stress on the defense, the 2nd and 2s.
Diamond with 2 backs behind him, including Valente. Trinity going to crowd the line of scrimmage. The give is to Valente.
I think he's got it.
He's close to that first down at about the 41-yard line.
Oh, maybe not. That wasn't the spot I thought he was going to get. His knee must have been down early, Nick. He's going to be short.
Looks like third down coming up.
Wow.
3rd and an inch.
Boy, I don't know. That was by no means a generous spot. Wow. That was at least a yard behind, I thought, where he landed. I didn't see any knee down, but
Pioneers
we'll see.
9 in the box here. We get a flag. First penalty of the game on the way.
Costly penalty if that's a false start. Offsides. Plymouth. That's a costly penalty, Nick. You got 3rd down and 1. That last spot, I have to tell you, Nick, that sure seemed like he got well across the 41-yard line. But nevertheless, penalty now, motion penalty, and that begins to take out, I think, good opportunity here for Trinity. They'll be getting the ball kicked to them in the 3rd quarter. It's so important to be able to get a 3 and out like this. This would really go into
chance to get the defense off the field.
Yep.
3rd down and 6. Diamond puts a man in motion, takes the snap, hit in the backfield and dropped at the line of scrimmage is Tristan Patridge. His first carry goes nowhere.
It's like number 52.
He's met on the edge by Trinity's Jeff Hickey. One to watch tonight defensively.
Absolutely.
For the Pioneers. Shows us why they are a key 3rd down stop. 4th down and 6 coming up. Plymouth looks to punt.
So victory for Trinity there, Nick. That's a good defensive set. Started off with a good 7-yard run, and they between a penalty and a shutdown. That's a big deal for them to be able to turn it around here. Let's see what they'll be able to do offensively after the return.
Diamond takes the punt from over the shoulder, gets it off down the middle, going to take a bounce inside the 30.
Wow.
The Trinity return man, Anthony DiGiantommaso, is going to let that roll all the way inside the 10-yard line. A beautiful bounce for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and as far back as I can remember, Nick, Plymouth has always had a great kicking game, and you just saw it right there. I mean, what is that? If you figure, 40-yard line all the way down to the other 50-yard gain, Nick, roughly, on that kick. I mean, Trinity will take it, but, boy, that's pinned them back pretty good. We'll see what they run here.
So the Pioneer defense hands it over to the offense, and we get our first look at Ollie Service, the junior quarterback. That last name, of course, familiar to Pioneer fans. His older brother, Jack, was a standout not too long ago. Service in some trouble after taking the snap.
Yeah, a little
and
inside.
It did get the handoff off, but that blew up. Nowhere to go for Logan Whitney.
Maybe a yard and a
the
half.
Senior might have scratched out a yard to set up 2nd down and 9. Well, Plymouth, they bring back 8 starters defensively, a lot of them members of the All-State first team last year in Division II.
Yes.
It's one of the premier defenses. They have not allowed a point
They certainly don't lack
so
size.
far this season. 2nd down and 9. Service going to pitch near side, trying to reverse direction and then paying the price.
What a hit. What a great read to begin with. I mean, it all starts with a read, and then he finished it strong. Was that number 48? I couldn't tell who that was. Came so fast. Let's see if we can see it here.
DiGiantommaso able to plant his foot, get back to the line of scrimmage, but you saw the big hit. I believe it may have been 34, Jackson
34.
Rainier.
I know the last number was a 4, so I think you're right, Nick. Wow, what a great tackle.
Officially a yard for DiGiantommaso. 3rd and 8. Service going to drop back into the gun against a 4-man front, back to his left, receiver in motion near side. The pitch, though, is to the far side. Here's Davey DiRepo trying to find his way back to the 15-yard line. He may have gotten a couple there. Either way, 4th down and long. DiRepo on his first carry, officially a 2-yard gain. So the Pioneers will punt here as we move towards 4 minutes gone by.
I tell you that the Bobcat defense, Nick, to me, like they're doing a great job of getting off blocks, and they just have a tremendous amount of conditioning and speed. That is a good-looking defense, Nick.
Liam Shannon with the tackle. That's one of those first-team All-State members from a year ago, Shannon.
Yep.
Two men back deep for Plymouth.
Wow.
One off the right foot of Connor Bishop, the junior. Goes over the head of the Plymouth return man. Logan Marsh lets it roll, and it's down along the sideline at the 27-yard line.
Well, we talked about special teams, but doesn't seem to be a problem on the kick game with either one of these two programs, Nick. Those are very, very highly productive kicks, and looks to be like their defenses on both sides, Nick, seem to have a little advantage. We'll see if
a couple of 3-and-outs.
Yeah, the Bobcats can get going here, bring the ball down the field. But Trinity looks to me, Nick, like they're pretty solid on D themselves. Cornerbacks are by no means big, but they're not afraid to come up and make a stick.
That was one of the things that Coach Cathcart said he looked for in his safeties. Not necessarily how good they are in coverage, but more about run support.
Yep, and willing to give a little on that, but they're going to have to pay attention if the Bobcats can start running the ball consistently. Watch that play-action pass because they call it at just the right time.
Again, the Pioneers crowd the line of scrimmage. Diamond on 1st and 10. Handoff near side and a little extra at the end of the run. It's going to scratch out about 4 yards.
That's
First
strong.
carry for Robbie Thorne. He's an All-State member of the defensive line last year, but also was their kind of goal line back, Steve. He scored 9 touchdowns as a junior.
Not afraid to lower his shoulder by any means, and he did a great job there, moving, keep the legs moving, small, strong steps, and got his team an extra 3 or 4 yards out of that.
DiGiantommaso with the tackle. 2nd down and 5. This one over the middle, and again, it's Thorne.
He's a load.
Going to show you what he can do with the ball in his hands. Over the midfield line, tackled at the Trinity 49. As he gets about 25 there.
Yeah, he's
27 on the pickup.
He's a load, Nick. He's got tremendous condition, but watch the hips as he drives his legs. He breaks the tackle because he's so strong and has that forward lean, and he's going to be a tough guy to bring down today.
He's listed at 6'3", 215.
I believe it.
Another flag here.
I think they lined up offsides, Nick, on the offensive side. That's the second time. Yep, there it is. I saw it. Looked to me like the right guard or the right tackle, Nick. I could see the hands ahead of the football. So they're going to be calling that pretty stringently tonight, as we can see. And it's a good thing because in any game where line of scrimmage is so important in the running game, it's the official's job to make sure and manage parity and make sure this everything is fair. And so I definitely agree with both of those calls there.
Second penalty against the Bobcats.
Now the hand's back.
First down and 15. Delayed count. We may see our first pass here. We do. It's down the sideline, and it's hauled in with one hand. What a grab is right. That's Plymouth's Jackson Rainier. Had a big stick defensively a moment ago. A big reception here for a gain of 17 and a first down.
Yeah, watch. He just puts his hands out. Just gets the body position. He's got a good turn on it. Ball was thrown with a lot of velocity, but watch the haul in right here. Knocks it down, gets the second hand on it right away, brings it in before he gets hit. That's just a nice piece of receiving right there. He also ran a good route. He kept on running. He never, ever slowed down, and his quarterback put it where the right spot is and not afraid to go up and get it.
Longest play from scrimmage either way. And a first down for Plymouth as we cross the midway point first quarter.
Offense of the Bobcats looking real solid right now.
After a 3-and-out to begin the game, hoping to keep the rhythm going on this drive. Right side handoff, second effort, down to the 31-yard line. First carry for Blaine Hiltz, the junior. And Hiltz is going to set up what looks like a second down and 3.
Well, line of scrimmage right now, Nick, for the past 5 or 6 plays. Pretty much this, not so much the last time. First play did, but now the Bobcats are clearly every down winning the line of scrimmage, Nick. It's not just opening up holes. They've got the Trinity defensive line a yard and a half back as the back crosses the line of scrimmage.
Another flag.
Here we go. They're not gonna give on this. Same thing. Wow.
Well, so they're going to keep continuing to say, hey, back it up, back it up, back it up. Third penalty against Plymouth.
These are costly penalties, Nick.
Third encroachment penalty. Second and 3 turns into second down and 8. Just inside of 5 minutes to go first quarter.
Well, everybody's got to understand the line of scrimmage is going to be real tonight, Nick. And like I said, both of these teams are all about winning the line of scrimmage. So those penalties are costly on drives.
Second down and 8, Diamond against another crowded box. Handoff left side. Hitting the hole is Valente. Pioneers able to flood the zone. Dom DeTone with the tackle.
A nice tackle.
And that brings up another key third down here, 3rd and 5.
Watch this. I think this is a pretty good tackle right here. This is not an easy fella to bring down. Goes in foot. Yeah, it looks like he had a little bit of support right there, and he was able to turn him around. But I thought he got a little more of the body, at least from my side over here. But it looks to me like he kind of had to pull him down. So here's a big play. 3rd and 6, roughly? Big play here.
Call it 3rd and 6. Again, Trinity trying to stuff the box. Diamond going to hand off. Valente left side. It's inside the 30. Second effort brings him inside the 25, and that is enough.
All right, well,
for a first down.
Here you go. You watch the wash. We call it a wash or a wall. They built a wall on the left side. Watch the domination of the Bobcat offensive line on the left side, Nick. You're going to see it right here. Look at that. A complete wall off. They own the line of scrimmage. All the linebackers are pinned in. Corner is strung out a little wide and just way too much running room. And, boy, once he gets ahead of steam, he's going to get that first down. Nice run.
The wingback, Jackson Rainier, got after it as well.
Yep.
First and 10 from the 25. Plymouth threatening to enter the red zone. It's a pitch right side. They stay with the hot hand. It's Valente. Crosses the 20. Wrapped up at the 16 and barrels his way down to the 15-yard line. Tackled by Bishop. So Valente has been the lead back so far. That's his fifth carry in this first quarter.
You're going to see some clutching and grabbing here, but Plymouth is smart. Look at that. Look at that. Grabs him, clutches, and then lets go immediately. That is excellent offensive line work. Using his hands to win the battle, slow him down, but does not go far enough to draw the yellow flag. That's just good training right there. Good execution.
Inside a 3-minute first quarter. Drive number 2 for the Bobcats. They're in the red zone. First and 10 from the 15. Against the 4-4, handoff left side. It's Thorne, little sidestep. Going to lean his way down somewhere in the vicinity of the 10-yard line. That's good for 5.
He looks 6'3" and 250, Nick.
Yeah, they got him listed at 250.
With a body fat at
5%.
He's a
that could be an outdated number at this point.
He is a house. And
Thorne, his third carry, he's got
a strong
37 yards on this drive.
And important yards as well.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Plymouth trying to strike first. Second down and 6. Handoff, they stay with Thorne. He finds a hole. He's at the second level near the 5-yard line. Pushed back by a couple of Pioneers.
I think he's got the first, Nick. It looks to me like he's got the first here.
Gabe Valera, the junior, the first on the scene for Trinity. Bishop as well out of the secondary. They're going to mark him at about the 5-yard line, just shy of the 5.
Wow, I thought he was over. But again, those officials are right there, Nick. They're probably seeing the knee on the ground a little bit before we see him fall from here. So
looks like 3rd and an inch.
Big play here.
Final $1.20 from the 6-yard line. Diamond a hard count, takes a snap, handoff for Thorne. Again, a left side run. He's near the goal line, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. It's the big back who brings it home.
Punishing.
A 6-yard touchdown run, and Plymouth on the road is going to put up the first score of the night, 6-0.
Looks like a trap block here, Nick. Watch the cross block. There's a down on the tackle and then a kick out here, and he times it just right as he runs through. Maybe we can see that in a bit. They're going to kick.
Extra point on the way. Kick team on the field here for Plymouth.
With that running game.
And Diamond is able to convert right down the middle. So the quarterback / kicker tops off drive. Diamond had a long completion on that drive, but the main guy was Robbie Thorne, who brought it home with the 6-yard score.
Oh, they just double-teamed and complete annihilation. Who is that? Who is that? Number 26. What a tremendous block by number 26. Just completely owned the line of scrimmage.
That's Nolan Galvin.
Nolan Galvin with a one heck of a block right there. And that just completely opened it up. And, once he gains speed, Nick, it's going to be very difficult for one defender to bring him down. He is a horse.
Well, he may be the biggest horse in a stable that includes up to 12 ball carriers. We've seen different players through the first 2 weeks.
Coach Sanborn said that. Yeah,
these guys have been productive, and why not spread it around, keep your main guys fresh.
Yep.
And as we saw on that drive, Thorne, 4 carries, whereas his classmate Ben Valente had 5. So we've seen the early balance from Plymouth here on the road as the 7th-ranked Bobcats lead 7-0 with 1:13 to go in this first quarter. So now it's on the Pioneers to respond. Their first possession sputtered out with a 3-and-out. Diamond with a short kick. This one leads to confusion, and then it's taken off the bounce by Plymouth.
Yeah, Coach.
A heads-up play by Logan Marsh.
It's almost like you got it, no, you got it. Coach Cathcart not happy with that.
Yeah, the Pioneer upmen not quite sure what to do as that one had some touch on it. It floated right over the head of the front line. It takes a bounce between the 45 and the 50. It's eligible to be recovered, and Marsh is the man to snatch it for Plymouth.
To me, it looked like there was a little retrace backwards there on the L2, I believe. And, if you don't know, you go. Because if it gets past 10 yards, it's their ball. So there's
from
a
the
special
46
teams mistake.
of the Pioneers. Handoff hit right away is Valente. But again, that second effort pays off as he moves inside the 45, brought down at the 44.
Yeah.
Tackle there made by Hunter Henderson, who came over from Campbell High School in the offseason.
Yep.
The junior, of course, was involved in that Trinity-Campbell Division III rivalry a year ago. Now he's a Pioneer. And he comes up with a stop there to limit Valente to just 2 yards and set up a second down and 8 for Plymouth. Final 40 seconds here, first quarter. Pioneers get the touchdown, and then I guess that's technically an onside kick recovery.
Yeah. I mean, both of them, you'd rather see both of them going for it.
Diamond on a rollout. Going to tuck and run. Looks for the 40. Is hit there. Hit along the sideline. And then spun down. Let's see where they mark him. Looks like at the 41-yard line.
It looks to me, Nick, like I thought he was going to get 20 yards off of that. So great job. Who made that tackle?
DG and Tom. Bear with me. DG and Tommaso with the tackle. His second,
nice
by the
job,
way,
by
for
the way.
Trinity.
Nice job. That's all right.
That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Plymouth on the road with a 7-0 lead. They face a key third down when we come back. Right back to Manchester in just a moment. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will do both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, the Bobcats with a 7-0 lead on the road over Trinity here in Manchester. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams 2-0 and amongst the short list of Division II contenders.
Yep.
Of course, Trinity, they were the Division III champs, jumped to D2 in the offseason. Plymouth, they've been on that short list of contenders forever.
Yep.
And last year almost pulled it off again. They fell just short against Pelham in the championship round. But both teams off to that 2-0 start here tonight. Well, Plymouth on the road after a 3-and-out, got the ball back, and then capped off a lengthy drive with a 6-yard touchdown run from senior Robbie Thorne. On the ensuing kickoff, it's kind of a pooch kick, landed at the 46. And off the bounce was fielded by special teamer Logan Marsh. So that is where we are. Plymouth now facing a 3rd down and 5 at the Pioneer 41. They need to somehow get to the 36. They stay on the ground. Valente is hit in the hole. He leans forward. And is going to be marked down at the 39-yard line. Another good tackle by Hunter Henderson.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the things, Nick, that is really has a potential if this is a long, sustained drive, and even if it wasn't a score, this defense of Trinity has been living out on the field, and one of the things that hurts on that special teams recovery there by the Bobcats is that Trinity's defense literally barely got a couple breaths off, and then they're right back out there again. So
Pioneer offense has only run 3 plays tonight. 4th down and 3. You can hear the chant from the visitor sideline as Plymouth goes for it. It's a pitch to Valente. He's got the edge. He's got the first down. He's got the 25-yard line. He's wrestled down at the 24. A big-time run on a 4th down and 3 as Valente goes for 16 yards and keeps the drive alive.
I always get nervous when I see tackles like this, Nick. You're going to see it here. Very legal. Did what he had to do to bring him down, but, boy, you hate to see the legs go in that opposite directions. And fortunately, he's okay. But that was a nice run by him. and possibly you could argue a touchdown-saving tackle right there, Nick, because I didn't see a lot of red shirts around it.
It was the linebacker, the junior, Dom DeTone, who
nice job.
I think without a doubt saved the touchdown there.
But it is a nice job, 12, 14 yards down the field. So the Bobcats, probably beginning to take care of, take it to a somewhat fatigued Trinity defense. We'll see if they can hold up here and get the ball back for their own.
First down and 10 from the 24 of the Pioneers. Diamond, another long count. Quick handoff. It's a straight-ahead run inside the 25.
What a great job of deception right there, Nick. That ball is that running back is through the hole so quickly, all designed to do just that. Get him 3, 4, 5 yards.
Ends up as 5 more in the end
5
for Robbie
more.
Thorne.
It's exactly what Coach Sambone and his offensive crew want. It's burning time off the clock and stopping. Winning that time of possession that we talked to probably will be the number one key to the game. Plymouth certainly looking strong at that now.
Again, Plymouth has had the ball for all but 3 plays in this first half. Diamond's second pass attempt is aimed into the corner of the end zone, and it's overthrown incomplete.
I think Trinity, who's that defender there, did a great job kind of getting in his way, slowing him down and stuffing a little bit of that the speed of that route. I think it was a good throw. He threw to the spot, but if you look at him coming downfield here, that was earlier than that. He was able to kind of get in his way early, and then he forced him outside.
Intended for Eli Ibargwin, the 6'2 junior. All right, another third down. And meanwhile, the officials are going to blow the whistle. We've got a timeout here by Trinity as Coach Cathcart wants to talk it over. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit nhtomahawks.com and also girls.nhtomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing. Family owned, over 50 years in the business. Start your next project today at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you here in Manchester. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams Division II contenders, 2-0 on the season. Plymouth has hogged the ball here in the first half. They put 7 on the board back in the first quarter, hoping for 7 more here as they're inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. But a third down and 5 awaits. The quarterback is Diamond. He's back under center. He faces a loaded box. Handoff, left side. Thorne trying to bounce it left. And he's tackled, I believe, Steve, well short. That's going to bring up another fourth down.
Yeah, a little surprised 2 plays ago, Nick, that they passed the ball in that situation. They get 5 yards on first down. You're trying to burn the clock out. The way that they're running the ball, they're averaging, I'll bet you, close to 5.5 per carry anyway. Surprised they didn't continue to run the ball there until they actually were able to consistently stop the run. But, hey, they went for the jugular. Why not? But, look, 4th and 2. Odds are in their favor, so down in the red zone, Trinity's got to stand tall here.
4th and 2. Again, the Bobcats chanting from the sideline. Pitch left side, it's Valente, delivered on the previous 4th down, and he does here as well. Still alive at the 5-yard line.
What a great cut.
Before he's finally dropped at about the 3.
This is just good offensive running the football, Nick. Give this. Is Valente?
It wasn't actually. It was Partridge on just his second
carry.
Now
watch this cut inside. Look at this. Watch. Sees it. Rex reads his block from 24. Cuts inside. That's from just repetition.
Here's Valente, right side. He's hit in the hole, and he's going to be denied the end zone.
Nice stand there by
Logan
by the
Whitney was in the area. Gave him a bear hug. I was right the first time, Steve. It was Valente on that long 4th down carry.
Okay.
And it was Valente here who's denied at the 1-yard line. So 2nd down and goal coming up.
Number 24, Tristan Partridge, was the guy that would block for him and had that kick out. And Valente was so smart to cut inside. That happens from repetition of running this thing year after year after year and just having a sense of where his blockers are, and just did a terrific job and got a big gain. We'll see what Trinity can do here.
Ball at the 2-yard line. Second and goal. Valente, right side, makes the cut, and he's in untouched.
Cut man, I'll tell you.
A 2-yard touchdown for the junior, Ben Valente.
Smart runner.
That's his 4th touchdown of the season, and Plymouth makes it a 2-score game at 13-0.
Yeah, that just doesn't happen naturally, Nick. That stuff, that's, obviously you have to have natural instincts to run the ball, but you got to go through the process of learning how to read blocks, and he does it as good as I've seen. Very, very good-looking drive right there by the Plymouth Bobcats. They're looking strong right now.
They're going to blow this dead. Flag thrown along the line of scrimmage.
Wow, is that the 3rd or the 4th?
This time it's against Trinity.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right, so
they're really policing that neutral zone.
I'll tell you.
In this first half, we saw 3 against the Plymouth offense. We see our first penalty here of any kind against Trinity.
I'm all for it, Nick. I mean, you're in a game with line of scrimmage, as we talked about. It means everything in this game. And it's just really smart for because they're calling it fairly on both sides here. Really smart by the officials to guard, as you said, Nick, guard that line of scrimmage to make sure nobody gets an advantage, and that's the way you want this game played.
Well, now it may have changed Coach Sanborn's mind. He wants to go for 2. He's going to put his quarterback/kicker under center here. Diamond takes the snap, the pitch to Valente. He has to avoid a man in the backfield. He does. He's in for 2 more.
He's a good-looking runner right there.
Ben Valente, 2-yard touchdown run, 2-yard, 2-point conversion.
Well, look at the field awareness right here. Look at the field awareness. He reads the outside kick-out block from, I believe that's 85, if I'm not mistaken. It must be his tight end. Mawali. And he hits. He's 100% right now in following his blocks, Nick. He's what I call sneaky fast. Watch him. Watch when he goes to the right here. He's sneaky fast. Cuts in. He does all the right things. Good forward lean. Good strong strides. All about getting his nose forward. Understands he's about how to gain yardage, and just great blocking up front. Plymouth looking very strong against a very good Trinity team.
They have dominated the time of possession in this first half.
And line of scrimmage.
They, of course, won the toss, elected to receive, and then went 3 and out.
Yep.
Pioneers went 3 and out. Plymouth orchestrated a multi-play, multi-minute drive that ate up most of the first quarter. It was capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by the senior Robbie Thorne. Ensuing kickoff was an onside kick recovered by Plymouth. They chew up the first 3.5 minutes here of the second quarter, and now are finally set to kick it back off with a 15-0 lead on the board.
But Trinity could ill afford the special teams mistake, Nick, by both standing there looking at that ball and allowing the Bobcats to recover. Key part of the game, which allowed this 2-score separation here.
They'll try it again. This one fielded on the run.
Didn't happen that time. That's good work going right after it.
DeGian Tommaso made sure he got underneath it. So the Pioneers,
how many
for just the second time here in the first half, are going to have the football. They've run 3 plays tonight.
Oh, they didn't have 3? I thought they had another set where they were 3 and out as well.
This is just the second drive of the game for Trinity.
So those inside keys of the game, Nick, are definitely coming through here, as we expected. That those key elements: line of scrimmage, time of possession, controlling. The line of scrimmage defensively as well, special teams, they're all coming into play right now.
Ollie Service, the junior, in the gun with a back to each side against the 4-man front on 1st and 10 from his own 45. This one is thrown short and incomplete.
Yeah.
Trying to hook up with Davey Giurepo on the near side.
Really want to step forward in that, Nick. He's kind of just an arm throw. There was no hips into it, and that's why it fell short here. You'll see in the replay, look a little skittish in the pocket. See, really no step into it.
His first
want to step up there and fire
first half.
He had him open too. He was there for the reception. See if they can pull it off here.
2nd down and 10. Again, a 4-man front for the Bobcats. Service out of the gun. Going to throw into the flat. DeGian Tommaso with a great jump cut.
Wow.
And a good run after the catch is enough for a Trinity first down. Tackled at the Bobcat 42-yard line. A gain of 13 in Trinity's first down of this first half.
I used to do that all the time, Nick, when I used to call plays, is call the same play the second time, or certainly at least the same quadrant. Clearly the offensive coordination from upstairs is seeing that the cornerback has given a lot of room out there. They're probably going to attack this.
Tackle made by Liam Shannon.
They'll continue to attack it.
His second stop for Plymouth. Out of the gun on 1st and 10. The junior's in trouble. Going to run to the right. Eyes downfield. Now is going to take off down the sideline. Big hit dished out at the 28-yard line.
That was close.
A big hit at the 28 by number 28, Taylor Russo. But nonetheless, a big
play.
Pickup there on the scramble by Service. Another Trinity first down.
So Coach Cathcart and the offensive crew has decided to open things up here a little bit, spread the field out. And, obviously the inside run game wasn't working. And Nick, it wasn't working at all. It wasn't even partially working. So if you have this stuff in the playbook, you got to force the Bobcats out of their defensive set that was controlling you. So far, so good.
1st and 10. Handoff. This is Dom DeTone. Gets to the second level and is still fighting inside the 25 before the whistle blows.
Looks like about 5 yards anyway.
Gang tackled. It was Plymouth's Hussein Osirian who was there first, the junior leading the charge. Where will they mark? DeTone is the question. The official going to place it just inside the 25-yard line. 4.5 gone by, second quarter. Trinity stringing together a pretty good, promising drive here in response. They need it down 2 scores. Service on a 2nd down and 6. Takes the gun. Going to throw it high into the air towards the end zone, and that one is dropped and incomplete.
I thought I saw contact there, Nick, but the official was right there. So obviously,
well, it was a battle in the end zone. The officials let the contact go if there was any. Nolan Galvin on the coverage.
Nope, I guess not.
Intended for Davey DiRepo.
Yep, just didn't come up with it. That's all. You're going to see another good look here. Good throw. He had separation. He was trying to come back for it, and smart move to turn around there at the very end. Number 26.
And it's Nolan Galvin.
Nolan Galvin again.
3rd down and 6. Service facing heat. Again flushed out. And this time going to duck out of bounds somewhere around the line of scrimmage. May have lost a couple, in fact.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, they're going to mark him at the 29. Whoa. So a full 10 yards, Steve, between the football and the first down marker. 4th down and 10.
Well, this is what's got them into Bobcat territory, Nick. So whether they score or not, at least they've changed the field position. But they really need something to happen right here. But what you don't want to do is throw the game away in the second. 7:03 left in the second quarter. Try to do something high percentage. If you can maybe squeeze a first down, great. But at least they're moving the football.
is in at quarterback here. On 4th down, hands to Service. Service looks downfield, throws it up in the air, and this one is incomplete. So a 4th down ends up with an incomplete pass, as we see there.
Didn't fool anybody, really.
It was designed to be a trick play, well contained by Plymouth. And in the end, the Bobcats get what they want. That's the football. They'll take over at their own 29-yard line with their 15-0 lead still on the board.
Yeah, they needed that big catch there, Nick, down on the 3 or 4 yard line. If they were able to get that and get in the end zone, the whole nature of the game changes. Suddenly you feel a little less gravity on you, and you're starting to run and level the playing field a little bit. That would have been a big deal for them. But they did move the football. But, boy, the defense has got to get in there and get the ball back away from the Bobcats now. This could go up 3 scores.
15-0, 1st and 10 from their own 29. Valente slips in the backfield. Well, he's lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he did. He lost a yard.
It would seem.
Maybe more than look at that one. It looked like his feet kind of betrayed him on this turf here.
Yeah.
As he looked to plant, that left foot kept slipping.
Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. A yard and a half. So that's certainly the way the defense wants that drive to start. So,
yep. 2nd down, 11. Valente has been the bell cow so far for Plymouth in this first half. Approaching the midway point, second quarter. On 2nd down, back to Valente, back to work. Absorbs 1 hit, but there's that pursuit.
A good defense here by the Pioneers.
Coach Cathcart was hoping to see that. He told us last night guys need to make tackles at the line of scrimmage. Well, it sounds like they get the message there. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, I think the defense here recognized how important a juncture of the game this is. And they're stepping up big time. A lot of team tackling, a better flow to the ball, Nick, defensively. Looks to me like the defensive tackles are holding the guards from coming out and getting in the linebacker's face, and they're able to roam with a little more freedom. That's what I've seen so far here. Let's see if they can continue it.
3rd down and 8. And Trinity going to crowd the box here. Plymouth will send one wide to the near side. Long count from Diamond. Takes the snap, rolls out. Going to tuck and run. Trying to find the stick. Is wrapped up and is scored it out of bounds, but then a late hit is going to be applied against Tien Tomaso.
Yeah, Coach Cathcart not happy again. These are key mistakes, Nick, at critical times. You've got to maintain composure and know where you are in the field. You're going to see it right here. Outside, he's got the grasp. He's out of bounds.
And then
then he jacks him and pulls. That is not a smart play. And it's too bad because such a talented defensive play up until that point was able to keep him from the first down, Nick. That would have been 4th down. Now watch here. Does a great job of controlling the hips, pulling him. All he's got to do is drop down, and you just that football from every level is not going to allow those type of tackles, Nick, anymore.
So a 15-yard personal foul against arguably Trinity's best player. He was a junior. Is a junior right now. Was a All-State selection last year as a sophomore.
That's a costly penalty right there.
So what would have been a 4th down.
And 4th and about 1.5, 2.
Becomes 1st down in Trinity territory at the 47-yard line.
Yeah.
48.
And the Bobcat player did I don't know who that was running the ball, but he did not retaliate.
It was the quarterback, Luke Diamond.
Smart not to retaliate.
1st and 10. Valente right side. Look out. Hit by Gianchamasso, and then finally
good team defense.
Second wave of red arrives.
Good team defense right there.
Gianchamasso, the first to arrive. He's spearheaded the tackle effort now with 4 unofficially for Trinity in this first half.
Yep. Denny Richmond down there, been coaching forever for the Trinity Pioneers, and I see who I believe is Austin Chambers down there back in the early 2010, 11, and 12 there. Just a terrific, thereabouts, terrific running back, and he was a safety. My boys played with him. He was a great football player.
Of course, the principal at Trinity High, he's here as well.
Yep.
Nate Stanton, the former Londonderry basketball
head
coach. Meanwhile, another hard run. This is Taylor Russo.
Great defense,
and that's his first carry tonight as the Bobcats continue to spread it around. Whitney, who was credited with the tackle.
Okay, Whitney. Okay, that was a good job.
It's Logan Whitney, the senior, his second stop.
Nice job scraping to the side and finding a seam to be able to get into the tackle, and got a good wrap on the waistline and pulled him down. So
inside of 4 minutes, second quarter.
Trinity defense working hard here.
3rd down and 8. Plymouth has had pretty good success on 3rd down. 3rd and 8, they stay with the run. And this again is Thorne. He's going to lower that shoulder.
It's going to be close.
And the 215 pounds is going to do the rest. He's inside the 40 before it's all said and done, about a yard shy of the first down.
What do you do?
4th down and 1. We've seen Plymouth already convert on 2 fourth downs. I have a feeling this may be a no-brainer for Coach Sanborn.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there. You're inside the 40-yard line, and your defense has been playing really solid. And that's exactly, Nick, what they're going to do. This is one of the top probably 2 or 3 plays in the half right here. Very important.
Trinity going to crowd the line of scrimmage. 4th down, it's Thorne again. He's got it easily. Inside the 25 before about 4 players bring him down at the 21-yard line. So a big run for Thorne, who has been very busy in this first half.
I agree with you, Nick, that Valente has been the bell cow, but Thorne has been a tremendous supporting actor in this whole running attack. And, boy, he has got them some real tough yards. equally as important, he's being relentless to the defense coming up and tackling, really forcing the Trinity defense to expend a lot of energy and take big hits as he lowers his shoulder down the field.
1st and 10. Plymouth threatening to go back inside the red zone.
Here we go again. Looks like another one of those.
We've seen this throughout the first half.
Systemic. Looks like Plymouth. Yeah, at this point, if I was Coach Sanborn, you might want to go out there and say, what is going on here? What do you want me to tell my guys to do? Because this is almost becoming systemic here. And they're going to, and the officials, and they've been fair. You know, they've been fair. They're going to be very, very strict on the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's been now 4.
Yeah.
Penalties, encroachment penalties.
5 total.
Against Plymouth. No, 4.
But 5 total, 1 against Trinity.
Yeah, we saw 1 against the Pioneer special teams.
That's a lot of calls for one thing.
And that's been
right
outside that Trinity personal foul. That's been the only penalties of this first half.
Exactly.
Coming up in 2 minutes to go until halftime. 1st and 15. With the football now at the 27 for Plymouth. And again, this one is blown dead. You get a false start here against Plymouth.
So here he comes right now.
So Sanborn.
I just said I'm surprised. Remember I just said, surprised Coach Sanborn didn't come out and try to get clarification. And he is looking at the referee with his hands open.
He's going to take a timeout here.
Yeah, he's real. Well, I think he wants to get out here and be able to have a conversation with his guys, number one. Maintain your composure. Don't let it get the best. We'll fix this. Don't want them starting to stress out for things and not be able to go full tilt. But I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if he, at the end of this, if he didn't go over to the ref and look for some specific explanations of what is it you want me to tell them.
That is the 5th pre-snap penalty against the Plymouth offense.
Coach Sanborn was a joy to interview last night on our Gridiron Show.
Yes, and of course that interview is available to watch anytime on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire on YouTube at FNLNH Media. Both Coach Sanborn and Coach Cathcart and Joe Marshallena of the New Hampshire football, the NH-High School website. NHHighSchoolSports.com is right. Joe's handle. All right, 1st down and 20 following those 2 penalties. They hand off. It's another run and another impressive finish to the run by Ben Valente as he's still on his feet when they finally blow it dead.
Ben was looking to go wide there after the whistle.
He's
all about forward.
4. That's a gain of 8 for Valente. The guy who got a lot of work last year as a sophomore, finished with 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. And he's been busy here tonight as well, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Final 90 seconds. Again, Plymouth facing a 2nd down and 12 from the 24-yard line. They're going to bring the wing in motion to the near side. They run it left side.
That Valente.
Valente with a gorgeous cut, and he's gone. Touchdown, Plymouth. A 24-yard touchdown run by the junior Ben Valente.
If you ever want.
And that's a highlight reel type of finish.
If you ever want to see how a guy is supposed to run down the line of scrimmage and read his blocks, Ben Valente does it as good as anyone I've seen so far this year. He even is so sharp at it, he fakes that glance step outside and then cuts inside, and it just messes up the defensive backfield. Look at that. Just literally a right angle off of that plant foot, and he knows exactly where green space is. What a terrific run by this young man. He's been doing it all game, and you said it right, Nick, when you said bell cow.
Extra point from Diamond is up and good. 22-0 Plymouth. A 24-yard touchdown run for Ben Valente, who has been very busy in this first half. 2 scores for the junior. Plymouth really silencing these home fans, at least here in Manchester. Some of the Bobcat supporters made the trip south, which is close to an hour via car, but the excitement that we felt earlier shortly after kickoff seems like it's been tampered a bit here by this very good Plymouth team.
Well, I have to tell you, I think that one of the key points in the game, Nick, was the kickoff. That the two players just kind of both looked at each other, and then Plymouth is right on it. It just kind of showed you on special teams in that situation. We talked about that as one of the keys to the game, and to me, it's the key point, if you will, in the first half that changed the direction and trajectory of Plymouth, who was already winning the line of scrimmage, but that really set everything down in downhill motion.
It came on the heels of what was nearly a 8-minute drive by Plymouth. They scored first, made it 7-0, 6-yard touchdown run by senior fullback Robbie Thorne.
Yep.
And then, as you mentioned, that short pooch kick on the ensuing kickoff recovered by Plymouth. And now it's a 3-score difference with 1:14 to go until halftime. Now we watch this kick by Diamond from the 40. It's a little lengthier. It's a line drive, in fact. It's scooped up and returned by Alejandro Foden across the 40. Foden to midfield before he's sliced down at the 50 even.
Well, one of the things you're looking for is when you see a seam, Nick, you have to accelerate through it. Don't run through it, accelerate through it. And that's exactly what he did. And, Trinity is really in a situation right now where something on the board will at least change the attitude of how you feel when you go in. That was a nice run there.
And Foden's still fired up.
Nice return, I should say.
As the junior continues to receive his props on the home sideline. Well, Trinity's got a half a field and 2 timeouts to work here. 1:07 to go until the halftime break. They roll out the junior ollie service. He throws on the run. It's a little too strong and incomplete. Intended for Connor Sturgis, with the man who recovered that onside kick, Logan Marsh, in on the coverage for Plymouth.
Let's not also forget 2 other key points is the 2 hitting out of bounds penalties on Trinity, Nick, were very costly as well. The last one would have forced a 4th down situation in the Bobcat zone, might have gotten the ball back before that score by Valente down the field. So some key things in the first half that happened at certain times are a big factor in this 3-score advantage.
2nd and 10. Plymouth going to rush 4. Service lets it rip. D'Angelo catches it on the run for the touchdown.
They did it.
A 50-yard strike. Service to Gian Tommaso. Trinity in business. Their first points on the night come on the first half's longest play from scrimmage.
He threw. You've got a guy who clearly, Nick, up until now we can throw the football, and it puts your number 1 player out there, out on the wide, and then just have him go in have a track meet with the defensive back. And Service threw a bomb right there, right on, and he never ever slowed down. What a terrific route! Boy, does that change the dynamics going into half. If they can get either a 1-point kick here and make it 22-7, that does change things. And they have
line drive effort is up and good off the right foot of the junior Connor Bishop. Trinity gets the answer they want. 7 on the board, quick strike fashion. Just under a minute there on the 50-yard hookup from Service to Gian Tommaso. So Trinity, after managing just 2 first downs, they open up the playbook, they go deep, and they get their perhaps 2 best athletes in sync there, quarterback to receiver, touchdown Trinity.
You got a minute left. You got to put your best against their best, Nick, and that was just a terrific route run. One of the things you hear me say all the time, drives me bananas, and when I coach it was the same thing. I really couldn't stand it when a receiver didn't run his route and allowed the quarterback to do his job because you did yours. And that's exactly what he did there. And that's just a look at that connection. That right there is a college connection, Nick, when you look at, from the quarterback delivering all the way to the reception and the route during. It's just, that was a pretty play. So, I mean, just psychologically going into the half, Nick, if they can hold Plymouth here, it's still 22-7, but you get the ball in the second half and you get to review things a little bit and say, hey, what's working, what's not. If they can come back and score, now you got a football game with pretty much a half to go. So
that's a good point. As Plymouth won the toss, elected to receive, which means obviously Trinity slated to receive to begin the third quarter. Still 54 seconds to go. before half. This one is a short kick and a decision made by one of the up men, Robbie Thorne, to allow it to bounce out of bounds. It's going to draw the attention of the officials.
Well, the real decision to me was by Coach Cathcart that you're just not going to run the ball back. I think that was a very smart move. I'd rather defend something guaranteed than take a chance on having a slip up on special teams and open up a seam with these very solid kick returners from the Bobcats, Nick, to run it back and make it 30 or 29-7. So smart thinking. I agree with Coach Cathcart. Don't allow that run back. They're going to do the same thing. May try to keep it in bounds, but they're not going to give something directly to them.
Well, it becomes a little trickier now as they'll re-kick with the football placed at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, you may see him load up this special teams with some more of his starters. There might be a couple of guys. Looks to me like, Nick, like he may have beefed this thing up a little bit. You want your best tacklers out there in this situation. You cannot allow the Bobcats, because Bobcats at Plymouth is just that lethal that they can get it done at any time. My guess is you're going to see him drop it behind this second line.
So Garand is ready after the 5-yard penalty for the re-kick from Trinity's 35-yard line. Garand with a pretty good one. Line drive off the fingertips of the return man, Ibargren. Big hit, gets a ooh and ah from the crowd.
Yeah,
and
nice cover, though.
Fights his way over the 30 to the 31 before he's finally stopped in his tracks by Trinity's Emmanuel Joffrey.
Yeah. Coaching staff's got to be pretty darn happy with that cover, Nick. Absolute line drive bullet kick, very difficult to handle. I'm not sure he was looking by any stretch to kick it right to him. I think he was looking for a good hard kick to land on the ground. And it was so hard that it was very difficult to bring in. So give Trinity a lot of credit there on that special teams play.
So from their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Plymouth with 2 timeouts, leading here 22-7 with just over 45 seconds to go until the break. 5 men on the line of scrimmage for Trinity. 2 more flirting with a blitz. They're going to roll out Diamond on 1st and 10. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. And the senior captain is going to stay alive and pick up the first down. Still going at midfield, working his way down the sideline. Finally stopped. Valente slips free and then is stopped at the 35. That'll stop the clock with 20 seconds.
Yep.
And I believe Coach Sanborn has just used his second timeout.
Well, nice to see you folks subscribe and see that the numbers for subscribers have gone up, Nick. For those of you who haven't, would love to have you join us, FNLNH Media. Simulcasting tonight with Pemmy Baker TV up in Plymouth. We appreciate the viewers joining us. Week number 3 statewide. A lot to get to at halftime. Full recap coming up. Stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard as well. Plus a preview of tomorrow's doubleheader. Steve and I busy. Yep.
As usual, 1 o'clock start in Wyndham. Pinkerton at Wyndham to D1 Central.
I know
Rivals going at it there. And then the nightcap is from Stello Stadium in Nashua as BG plays host to Division I champion Bedford.
I know our director, Ben Beals, is a big fan of Pemmy Baker TV, really admires their work. And, he and I have watched it and do a nice job there up in Plymouth and abroad. And
20 seconds out of the timeout. Diamond back under center. Hard count here. Roll out right side. Going to tuck and run. No question here. Makes a man miss. First down.
Nice
out of
job
bounds. Just shy of the 20.
Wow, what a smart guy this is. Smart runner. Knows exactly what he's supposed to do. Runs over quickly to coach in the sidelines.
15 more on the ground for the quarterback.
This guy knows how to carry out a mission here, doing a great job. Nice cut inside, good block, good kick-out block, and he read it beautifully.
Nose of the football just shy of the 21-yard line, just inside of 13 seconds remaining.
Look, when I saw the kicker, Nick, it looked like he had – you get inside the 20, 15, 16, 18, 20-yard line, another couple yards, I think he may be there, but by what I saw in his kicks on the extra points.
And of course, that's the quarterback, Luke Diamond.
Yep.
All right, 1st and 10. Again, just inside 13 seconds, so Plymouth one timeout in the back pocket, one eye on the clock here. Diamond is in the gun. Valente to his left, takes the snap, looks downfield, has time, throws near side, catches, dropped, and incomplete.
Wow.
Ibargwan again took his eye off the football. He's upset with himself.
Yeah, I don't know, Nick.
That's going to leave Plymouth with 8 seconds even remaining.
I'm not sure that may have worked out better than he thinks it did because what do they have? They have, one timeout left, right?
Nope. And now 8 seconds even.
8 seconds even?
I believe they have one timeout.
Yeah, I think they have one timeout left, and they would have had to use it there if he caught it because number 22 from Trinity, Connor Sturgis, was right there to make the tackle, and he would have been inbound. So,
all right. 8 seconds.
I think you may see one pass to the end zone here. Maybe.
Long count. Diamond takes the snap. Yeah. Play action. Rolls out left side. He's got his eye on the end zone here. First, he's got to get the 10. He's at the 5. He leaps inside the pylon for the touchdown.
Wow, what a runner.
A gorgeous 22-yard touchdown run on the final play of the first half. However,
flag down.
You said it. There's a marker down at the 12-yard line.
And Trinity is clapping, so it's probably a holding out on the edge. We'll see if we can see it here on the replay.
If it's against Plymouth, it's going to wipe out the touchdown. The officials getting together. Our referee, Fred Russell, has been busy in this first half.
I didn't see any holding there, Nick. It must have been further inside because I didn't see any.
The penalty is holding.
Yeah, let's see if we can see it here. No, I don't see any holding there. That's all good there. So it wasn't there. It had to have been on the inside somewhere. And that is where the flag was, inside the hash mark. So it must have been something on the backside. If that was the case, hard to imagine that defender could have reached. But holding is holding, so they called it. That is a huge penalty.
It's going to wipe out the 22-yard touchdown run.
Going to give Trinity another life, potentially, if they don't score, going into the second half and receiving the ball coming out.
First half can't end on a penalty, so there's 0 on the clock.
Correct.
Diamond is going to attempt here what looks like a 40-yard field goal.
He's got a good leg.
On the final play of the first half, trying to add points for the visitors.
Not going to be enough.
The kick is up and short.
Yep.
It's caught in the end zone.
He can run it.
Well, the officials don't think so. They're going to blow it dead. Of course, in the NFL,
this is not the old days.
That would be the case.
Yes, not now.
So they're going to end the half with a missed field goal there from 40 yards deep from Diamond. But nonetheless, despite the disappointing finish, Plymouth will take it. They're out in front by 2 scores, 22-7 at halftime.
I'll tell you, Diamond showed how valuable he is. This young man can run. You throw Valente, and Thorne out there, that is a 3-man attack running the football that it's challenge. I would argue most Division I teams from what I've seen, Nick, out there. They are potent. But Trinity was able to come up with a big play, get the goose egg off the board, minimize the margin to basically 2 scores with a whole half to play, and going to receive the football. But I think it's pretty clear. Coming out and putting together a good sustained drive and get into the end zone, put this thing in with 1 point with by midway left of the third quarter is really what Trinity needs to do. Otherwise, the percentages begin to go down with a two score lead with a very good defense that the Bobcats have. So, but there is hope for Trinity going in. We do have a game here coming out in the second half. Going to be enjoyable.
All right. When we come back, stats, highlights, analysis, recap, out-of-town scoreboard, all the good stuff coming up in just a moment. Plymouth at the break, a 22-7 lead over Trinity. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Wheels Insurance.
broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
Tough.
Halftime here in Manchester. Plymouth leading Trinity 22-7 as we get set for the third quarter. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Excuse me, first half. A slow start, really, for both teams, both offenses, as we saw a couple of 3-and-outs to begin the first quarter. However, Plymouth strung together a long, impressive offensive drive that ate up most of the first quarter before a 6-yard touchdown run by senior fullback Robbie Thorne opened the scoring. Thorne would go on to rush for 74 yards on 8 carries in that first half. After the Thorne touchdown, onside kick recovered by Plymouth, and the Bobcats pieced together another long scoring drive, this time capped off by Ben Valente, whose 16 carries in that first half set the tone for Plymouth. He's up over 100 yards unofficially at halftime. He also caught a 2-point conversion and scored again later on in the second quarter. In fact, the Thorne and then 2 Valente touchdowns account for all the scoring, or at least the first 22 points tonight. Trinity did not come alive until the final 2 minutes. Ollie service to Anthony DiGiantomaso on a 50-yard touchdown hookup gave Trinity a little bit of hope going into the locker room. So a 2-score game at the break. Pioneers will receive the opening kick to begin this third quarter. And as we talked about off-air, Steve, this drive coming up here for Trinity is really going to have consequences one way or the other here as we move into the second half.
Well, there's the best thing that can happen to Trinity is they receive the ball and have a long, good, sustained drive down the end zone, turn this thing into a 1-score game. The next best thing they can do is, if they're not able to, get good, solid field position and pin the offense of the Bobcats deep in their own, and then have the defense come out and make a big defensive stand. The worst thing that can happen is that they go 3-and-out and do not sustain a good yardage on the punt, and then or Plymouth, one way or another, wherever they wind up, able to go down and make this thing a 3-score game. The percentages of the winnability, for lack of a better term, of the game at that point, the percentages go way, way down if that happens. So the beginning and opening kickoff is going to have huge implications of how the rest of the game goes. After that, you've got to do something. I don't know how you do it. Is to contain the Thorne, Valente and Diamond show. It has been something else, and of course, all the great supporting actor linemen that are involved in this thing have just been fabulous. Plymouth clearly is here, third week of the season, a fine or well-oiled machine, and they are, for the most part, offensively imposing their will on the Trinity defense. But Trinity did do one thing, one last quick point. When Trinity opened the ball up and played to their offensive strength of throwing the football, as we talked at halftime, things did change.
Other scores on the third Friday night of the season. In Division I, got a 1-score game out west. Keene with a 13-12 lead over Nashua North with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Can't figure this stuff. Wow.
South with a 22-7 lead over Lowell as the Purple Panthers face their lone out-of-state opponent in week number 3. Minute to go in the third quarter.
They just keep getting it done
in Nashua.
Yeah,
so
at least so far.
South a chance to improve to 3-0 overall. Concord hanging around with Londonderry, but trailing by 2 scores at the midway point in the state capital. 14-0 is the Lancer lead over the Crimson. Salem cashing in big time. Put up 42 in the first half tonight on the road at Dover, leading the Green Wave 42-13. And Alvern, talk of the town after last weekend, Timberlane hanging around with them. 21-20 at the half.
Timberlane?
Broncos with a 1-point lead.
1-point lead. Good for you know what? That is that in Owltown or is that
in Plastow, I believe.
Yep. Wow.
Also, one of the D1 score, a 7-7 tie on the in the Queen City, down the road actually at Gill Stadium. Winnicott and Central tied up at 7.
Yep.
Start of the third quarter there.
Well, we saw Central play, Nick, in the Jamboree, and I thought they had some really good tools out there. I think Ryan was talking about, Coach Ray was talking about getting them healthy and getting things going. I mean, that if they are able to sustain a win against Winnicott, that's a big win for them. Yeah. Same, and Winnicott, in order to go into Exeter the following week, that would be a big win for them going in, correct me if I'm wrong, 3-0.
Yeah, right? Warriors are 2-0. Central is 0-2. And again, both those teams tied at 7 at the break.
Yeah.
All right, Trinity set to receive here as we get set for the third quarter in this one. Plymouth with a 22-7 lead. By the way, that 50-yard touchdown connection by Trinity in the final minute before halftime, the first points that Plymouth has surrendered all season.
Big one.
After beating Milford 55-0 and Kennett 41-zip last weekend.
Yeah, this is a 1-2-3 deal. Number one, receive the ball, offensive drive down the field. Worst case scenario, they've got to be able to kick it and pin them deep if they can't sustain a drive down into the end zone. And then the defense has got to pin them in. So, I mean, otherwise this thing could slip away very, very quickly.
Not quite sure what the delay is here.
I don't either. Is it the setting?
They've reset,
waiting for the clock.
They've reset the clock a couple of times.
Yeah, they're letting it wind down.
And now, apparently, we'll be all set.
I just wanted to make sure you had enough time to get those scores out for the rest of the league, Nick.
I appreciate that.
What score rings out to you the most significantly on the score?
Well, you got to feel good for Timberlane hanging around.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
With Alvern after an 0-2 start, the Owls needed something positive. They're certainly getting it tonight.
Yep.
Against an Alvern team that's 2-0, but
I also
still a lot of time to go there. Whole second half ahead.
I also think a big win for Salem for their morale and to get back in track is important as well.
There's the return. This is Alejandro Foden, who had an impressive return that set up the touchdown for Trinity late in that second quarter. He's again near midfield, tackled just shy of the 49-yard line.
You got this little guy out there, number 34. I just watched him come up and make a stick, Nick. So proud of that young fella. Looks like Jackson Rainier.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I don't know if he's much more than 115, 125 pounds, but I'll tell you, it's all muscle. He just came up.
Well, they got him listed at 5'7", 160.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look 160 is what I'm saying.
And he had that big hit, remember, on Trinity's opening drive.
Impressive.
First and 10. D'Angelo, only one carry for the junior in that first half, but he's going to weave his way on an east-west look to midfield.
You see what he just did right there? He just set the whole edge, kept it and contained it, and then was able to assist in the tackle on the outside. Very, very impressive. Watch this. He comes out. He's setting that edge out there, right? He's holding it, and then he releases and makes the tackle. What? This kid, he's 160? I don't believe it, but I'll tell you, he plays like 200. Tough young man. Been watching him all game, Nick, and he's just he has a lot of attitude playing the game.
I think he's got 4 tackles.
Yeah, I'm not the least bit surprised.
Service on a 2nd and 6. Had time initially. Now is dragged down by the face mask.
Wow. That's a 15-yarder.
That was Robbie Thorne who got a hold of the whole cage and gave it a yank.
Nick, if they had a 30-yard penalty, that would be one of them. I'll tell you right now. That he is he's trying to screw that thing back, screw his neck back on his frame. That is that's about that's as significant a face mask as I've seen in a long time. That's just no let go, just a complete pull down. Wow.
We saw 6 penalties for 35 yards against Plymouth in that first half. We're going to tack on 15 more here for the face mask.
I don't know what they're talking about out there. They had quite a conversation between the officials, but I'll tell you, Nick, I haven't seen a face mask that is sustained for that long in a long time.
Well, we saw 1 personal foul against Trinity in the first half. We see now 1 against the Bobcats here. So Trinity will take it. It's going to move the football all the way to the Plymouth 35-yard line. New set of downs here, just 24 seconds into this second half. A little different look here as well, Steve. A 3-receiver set for Trinity.
Yep.
I don't believe we saw that look at all in the first half. Pioneer fans stomping on the bleachers here, hoping to give the home team a lift. First down and 10. Design run.
He's got the edge.
DeGiantommaso inside the 30 along the sideline. 20-yard line. Steps out.
Boy, I got to tell you,
the
Nick,
21.
he's got tremendous balance. Did you see him able to keep his whole torso was out over the sideline, and he was able to work those feet and get that body somehow back in bounds and grab himself another 2 or 3 yards. Watch this. You're going to see him go out. His body, he's already out, but yeah, he had already stepped out. I'm sorry.
He stepped out at the 21.
Even so, though, that is an
impressive run. 14-yard pickup on the ground. 2 carries for 16 on this drive. He only had 1 for 1 yard on the ground throughout that first half.
This is what Trinity wanted to do. We talked about this.
Got a flag here.
But a false start.
Somebody jumped up front for Trinity. Pioneers 3 penalties for 21 yards in that first half. It's their first penalty of this third quarter.
Yeah.
So the officials busy in the first half, busy already.
Yep.
In the first 40 seconds of this third quarter.
Yep. Yeah, they have been busy. All pretty much second quarter on, they've been really, and of course those line of scrimmage.
A combined 11.
Offsides.
A combined 11 penalties so far in the game.
Sounds about right.
DeGiantommaso back at the Wildcat spot, takes a direct snap, looking to stretch this to the outside and steps out of bounds inside the 20.
That's a nice pickup there, Beaves.
That's a long 2 yards.
Yep. They had to make up the penalty as well.
Oh, you're right. That's more like 7.
It's 7. Yeah, that's all right.
My fault.
I got to have some use here, Nick.
Of course, this is a kid who was an all-state selection last year as a sophomore.
Yep.
Has led the Pioneers tonight in tackles on the defensive side of the ball and starting to really find success, at least on this drive so far, on the ground.
You got to be pretty special in my mind to be a sophomore and be all-state. That's speaking a lot right there.
At the 50-yard touchdown in that first half. Now they're going to let Service throw here on 2nd down and 9. He rolls out right side, eyes downfield, and this one is caught and then bobbled and ruled incomplete.
Yeah, that was
It looked like Hunter Henderson had control of it initially, may have been poked loose from behind.
Little jarring going there between receiver and safety. Service just doing a great job spreading the field and extending the play. He has it in, he pulls it in, and then all of a sudden, that was just number 11. I don't have a number 11 on my sheet here, Nick, so I don't know who that is, but that's just a great play, being able to get that to stay with it and
brings up a key 3rd down and 8 here from the 19-yard line. Trinity hoping for points at the end of this drive. They're going to throw incomplete.
Yeah.
He trying to find over the middle
Tommaso,
but that one too high for everybody.
Yeah, he took a heck of a hit right there.
Meanwhile, Coach Sanborn is upset about something.
Yeah, I don't know what, but
he's coming out onto the field here to have a word with our referee, Fred Russell.
Yeah, he's been frustrated, Nick, with the amount of line of scrimmage offsides call. He is really pleading his case right now. Something on the interior, Nick, that he didn't like. And he played it just right. Comes out, air your concerns, do your gyro, wave, let them know your frustration. Then you turn around and walk off.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. We have a timeout on the field, but I'm not sure which team called the timeout or if it's an official's timeout.
I got to believe it's Plymouth, Nick, because he went out on the field immediately after the timeout was called. We're going to see where they take it off here. Not quite sure. Did you see the official make any gesture?
I did not.
I did not either, so you may be right.
Either way, it's 4th down and 8, and Trinity, coming out of this stoppage, is going to attempt a field goal here of 35 yards.
Yep.
We saw Plymouth's Luke Diamond come up short on a 40-yard attempt just before halftime.
Yeah, thought he had the leg there. He just didn't get a good kick off. We'll see how.
Connor Bishop, this one is a line drive. During the winter, shows you what he can do with his leg there. Adds 3 points. then shouting distance now at 22-10.
Yep. It's still a two-score game, though, Nick, but every point counts. You never know where this game is going to end up. This thing could just get wide open offensively, and those sort of points begin to come in. But nice job by Trinity getting points on the board. They wanted 7, I'm sure, but just to get down the field, there's still Coach Sanborn is irate on the sidelines about something. Not quite sure what it is. And now the officials are having a little bit of a meeting at the middle of the field, the head official.
So 22-10
I
after the 35-yard field goal from Connor Bishop. Just over a minute gone by here in the third quarter.
As the temperature drops down here about 5 degrees, Nick, in the last 10 minutes.
You're right. Just below 60 now. It was about 62, maybe 63.
Well, I think fall's
at
coming.
Game time. Third week of the season. Statewide, these two teams at 2-0. 2 of the 5 unbeaten Division II teams heading into week number 3. Plymouth scored the first 22 points tonight, 3 touchdowns, 2 from Ben Valente, 1 from Robbie Thorne. Then Trinity, in the final minute, cooked up a 50-yard touchdown pass from Ollie Service to Anthony DiGiantommaso.
Nice kick.
And then they add 3 more on the opening drive of this third quarter. Now it's Plymouth's turn to respond, and it's a good return by Logan Marsh. Right side, he's across the 35, going to leap forward up to about the 37-yard line. Marsh, the man who recovered the onside kick back in the first quarter.
Big hits going on out there right now, Nick. Both of these, I think Trinity's got a little feel like we're on the board right now. We've scored in one way or the other twice.
Yep.
And I think that their blood's running the game if you're going to do it.
Sorry, Steve. Meanwhile,
no problem.
Looks like one of the Trinity Pioneers' better players, Logan Whitney, the senior, is
shaken up.
Yeah, he's trying to stretch out something on the sideline right now with his teammates on the defensive side of the football, ready for 1st and 10. Diamond takes the handoff. Right side it goes to Ben Valente, his 17th carry tonight. 16 totes in that first half for 105 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion for good measure.
Love the way he runs the football. He finds the crease. He can anticipate a seam developing, Nick. He doesn't wait for it to open. He's watching the backs of his blockers and the hips of his blockers, and he knows the angle of attack they're going at, and he begins that turn upfield at that time. I had a runner named Saiku Ba when I used to coach. He had that same ability. He could read that seam and accelerate through it. Ben does a great job at it.
2nd down and 3. It's another quick hitter, and it's Valente into Pioneer territory. 1st down and more. Finally brought down at the 45-yard line.
Who, by the way, played at Trinity High School?
Who's that?
Saiku.
That's right. St. Anselm as well.
Yeah, St. Anselm as well, and is a attorney today. He was a lawyer. Went to law school down at in Rhode Island.
2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Plymouth starting to get the juice again here. A couple of big runs to start the drive. Long count from Diamond. 4-man front. Valente
what a hit.
Hitting the hole, survives the initial assault before DiGiantommaso brings him down. Meanwhile,
we got an injury here.
The man who met him first, Jeff Hickey, is still down. The senior is shaken up.
Yeah,
shaken up.
You're going to see here, Ben is don't underestimate this man's size with power. He runs with a forward lean. Now watch this coming upfield. It looks like he's going to be okay. That's good to see.
Well, Hickey, one of the defensive ends from a year ago, he's tried to play a little linebacker this year, but his home may be on the edge. Either way, right now he's going to sit out a play. He looks okay.
Yeah, he
seems
just
pretty
kind of
vivacious on the sideline right now. But
jarred
we'll see.
His face mask.
2nd down and 5 coming up after the 5-yard carry for Valente. 3 carries in a row, by the way, for the junior workhorse. Got Marsh on the wing near side with Rainier the wing on the right. They go to Marsh. Marsh going to follow the lead blocker for a 1st down. He's going to spin inside the 35, try to keep that balance along the sideline before he's whistled down at about the 30.
Yeah, the Bobcats edge blocking, Nick. Trinity does a great job at it as well. Both of these teams are good at edge blocking, but I have to tell you, the ferocity in which they go out and the high level of execution that they edge block is just so impressive. And it's just they just run that outside angle and wait for the cut up, and it's just devastating for defense to try to stop.
3 minutes gone by, third quarter. Plymouth hoping to continue this successful drive, leading here 22-10. Diamond going to put Marsh in motion. They fake to Marsh. They go straight ahead to Valente. Bursts inside the 25 and still alive inside the 20. A true bell cow. It takes a collective effort to stop him just shy of the 15-yard line at the 16. Rips off another 14 there.
There's just more to this guy than just God-given skill, Nick. This guy comes back, and I notice he hits the shoulder pads of his offensive lineman that he hit key blocks. This is a guy that's a football player, and he understands how important what's in front of him and appreciates it and acts that out consistently. He's just impressing me more and more.
Had 105 yards unofficially in that first half, 33 more already on this drive. 4 minutes in, third quarter. Trinity hoping to stiffen up. Left side run. Valente hitting the backfield and dragged down by Hunter Henderson, who's been busy
I just want to check
on the Pioneers side of the football.
Is Hickey back in the game? Is that him out there? I can't really.
Keep an eye out for 52 in red.
Yeah, he is. He's back in the game. That's good to see.
Yep.
Glad to see that.
And I believe Whitney has returned as well.
Yep.
Second down and 10. No gain on that previous run. And again, the Trinity fans hoping to give the home team a lift with a chant of defense. Diamond a long count. Pioneers threatening blitz. Quick hit, the fullback. Or no, it's Valente again. Spins his way down inside the 10.
Nice job decoying there by Diamond. He does a great job of selling the fake, Nick, acting, just a great actor that he's still got the ball. And what that does is forces that side of the linebacker and defensive end to follow that, and that's what opens up that center green space for him to be able to turn and twist and grab that kind of yardage. Just well-executed play from start to finish. This is exactly what Coach Sanborn was looking for to respond after Trinity's 3 points.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Bobcats hoping to rebuild a 3-score lead. They go up the middle to the big senior Robbie Thorne, and he is in for a touchdown.
Wow.
His second score of the night. This one from 5 yards out. Plymouth, they get the response they were looking for as they piece together a multi-minute drive as we near the midway point. Third quarter, it's back to a 3-score lead for the visitors, 28-10.
Yeah, plenty of time left, but Trinity's got to answer and then take control if they're going to have any shot in this game, because remember, with the amount of runs that are going on.
Kick is up, line drive, and
no
hooks
good.
Left, no good.
Every point counts. That
no good from Diamond, who was 2 for 2 on extra point tries in that first half.
Yeah, so
it stays 28-10. Ben Valente, again carrying the load on that drive. Steve, 1, 2, 3, 4,
170,
5,
right?
6 carries on that drive alone.
But he's got to have over 170, right? He's got him at this point.
He's close.
Yeah, all right.
I've got him for 152.
Really? Wow.
On 23 carries.
I thought he rattled off 40 along that drive alone.
He did.
Yeah,
he had 105 at halftime.
Did he have 127 or something?
No, he had 105 at
halftime.
halftime.
Okay, 105. I thought
again,
he had
all these numbers unofficial.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that was I thought. I apologize. I thought he had 120 something in the first half. Yeah. Sure felt like it. The way
he had 47 on that drive alone.
Yeah.
So he's up to again by my count 152, which is a monster day for a 4-quarter game.
Yeah, 6:31 left in the third.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's been the story offensively, and then you sprinkle in, of course, the fullback Robbie Thorne.
Yep. And then
his
Diamond.
2 touchdowns tonight, and Thorne is approaching 100 yards in his own right.
Yeah, that's a lot of yardage, and then you've got Diamond's probably got 60, 50, right? 40, 50
I've
yards.
got Diamond 3 for 46.
Yeah, there you go. So that's a very potent running. Marsha's got a few yards. I mean, they got to be hitting what? Close to 300 yards? No, 280?
We'll get all the stats sorted out after the game.
Nick does this to me all the time. Scores, stats.
And it takes a little bit of time to compute the math.
Yeah, unofficial.
Meanwhile, Diamond going to handle this one at the 25.
Not going to let that one hang on the ground.
Good decision by Henderson to slide on that one and secure it for Trinity. So, still a big hill to climb for the Pioneers. They're down 18.
Yeah,
but nonetheless have found success on their previous 2 drives, resulting in 10 points.
Yeah, and they're moving the ball consistently in less time than they were, more yardage in less time. But at some point, something's got to break for them. You've got to have a fumble or an interception or something like that. I can't expect that you're going to see, knowing Coach Sanborn and his disciplined approach to the game, if you're doing something well, keep doing it. I find it highly unlikely you're going to see a lot of balls in the air here.
No.
So, they're going to have to jar something loose or get a run back or something quick to get another score on the board. But right now, they got to put a good sustained drive together.
Service is going to air this out. The kid's got a gun.
Yeah.
This one is too strong.
Yeah, the only problem with that in your own zone coming out, it's a little. You've got plenty of time to sustain a drive here. But now you're 2nd and 10. But, they are opening the ball up, but there's no reason that Trinity can't work it down strategically and passing the ball down the field. Don't necessarily need a big bomb.
Pioneers.
Good coverage, by the way, on that play. Sorry, Nick.
No, I was just saying, to your point, the run has worked at times. That opening drive of this third quarter at least moved the football. It didn't result in points, but now you need it quickly.
Good things have happened when Service has got outside of the pocket, Nick, and hit those short passes and some yards after the catch.
2nd down and 10. Throw it into the flat, and a catch made on a sliding effort by DG and Tommaso at about the 20-yard line.
83 coming at him in an intimidated fashion there. He just kind of hit the deck and caught the ball.
They're going to lose 4 yards on that one.
What did I say, 83 or 84?
I think it was 83. That's all
Liam Shannon.
DN, Liam Shannon.
Boy, he came in like a truck. And so big play here, Nick. They got to – this is not what they wanted to be 3 and 13 here at this point in the game.
Hoping to avoid the 3 and out.
Yeah.
Service. Going to throw over the middle, and again, it's too strong.
Yeah,
intended for Connor Bishop.
He's got a gun, but he's got to learn to calm it down a little bit. He had a nice open seam, wide open to pass to him, and he had running room, Nick. You'll see here on the route, he has a lot of running room after the catch if he can piece it. It looks like he's just releasing the ball kind of off of his back foot here. He's not coming across his body. If you watch now, he's kind of he's kind of lifting the ball. Had a defender in his face. That can have a factor as well.
Right.
But if he's able to hit that, he's got it. That's a good gain that can come there. But
so Pioneers,
now they have to kick it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to punt here. Bishop, who handles all the kicking duties, he's lined up inside his 10-yard line with his toes at the 8. Plymouth with 2 men back deep. There's a flag on the play. It's a high punt up into the night sky from Bishop. Handled here by Marsh, going to make his way to the right side. He gains the 50. Little juke at the 45, survives, still alive down the sideline, inside the 30, all the way to the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds. But again, a flag on the play. It was thrown on the snap. And it's down at the line of scrimmage.
You got to wonder what that is. That's probably, is it a defensive offsides, Nick? I mean, that would really help Trinity, because that is the last thing that they needed. It was a run back like that. How about Marsh, though? What a nice run. Just breaking tackles and just so elusive.
He's been key in special teams
He has.
For Plymouth, of course, he recovered the onside kick back in the first quarter, and he's had a couple of impressive returns, including this one here if it stands. Officials still talking it over, and now it's going to go against the kicking team. So I'd imagine that the procedure penalty is going to be declined here, right? As Coach Sanborn is obviously going to take the result of the play with the football now at the 15-yard line. So an excellent return. It stands. And now Plymouth with a chance in the red zone to take their largest lead of the night with just over 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Already in front with a comfortable 28-10 lead.
Yeah, Trinity needs a break of some type. Got to jar a ball loose, make a recovery.
Pioneer showing blitz. Diamond takes the snap, handoff left side, and again, another good effort for Valente.
Yeah.
He's creating a lot of yards after contact tonight, those yak yards.
Yeah, he carries people, Nick. I mean,
another 5 to the tally here.
6 foot 175, but I'd like to know what that young man does in the leg press. How about you?
Well, we spoke with Coach Sanborn last night on FNL Gridiron, and he said really the last year and a half, there's been a noticeable increase in the weight room amongst players in the program. And if you apply that to the running back position, you could see bigger, faster, stronger.
Yep.
And the results have been there. Handoff right side. This is Partridge. Partridge on a second effort is going to work inside the 5 and get down very close to the goal line.
Yeah, this is their vintage offense, Nick, right here. So difficult for a linebacker. You get in, you've been hit with it for so long. It's just very hard to play on a level field. You end up defending your territory 3 or 4 yards back, and you start catching runners rather than going up and meeting them, and it's very, very difficult to stop. And a lot of it is so hard to read. It's very difficult to read who has the ball with all of the great fakes and decoys.
They disguise it very well.
They disguise it extremely well, Nick.
And we've seen that on display tonight. Meanwhile, Partridge, he was kind of the go-to guy down the stretch last year on that postseason run that Plymouth made all the way to the championship round. He's been quiet tonight, just 2 carries for 9 yards. But he sets up his team very well here on a 2nd and goal from the 1. They're going to wave this dead, and a false start is going to go against Plymouth.
Looks like one of the linemen was moving at the same time.
That's the 8th penalty tonight.
Well,
against Plymouth.
Coach Sanborn was not kidding when he said he has a barn full of running backs that are effective. Yep. I mean, you start knocking off these names, you get 7, 8 deep, and every one of them can perform.
They've had 12 guys carry the ball through 2 weeks, not even counting tonight. So
take your pick.
Right.
That's an awful hard, hand of cards to read when you've got that many styles that are effective and have strengths in all different areas, but one common theme is execution.
Up the middle, touchdown. 6-yard scallop for Taylor Russo. 6'2", junior, fired out of a cannon there. Going to score from 6 yards out.
You said that right.
And it's now 34-10. Extra point could make this a 4-score game.
Yeah. I mean, anybody who wants to run the football, this is a model of how to get it done, and the sort of level of execution that's going on from not only the running backs and quarterback, but the whole offensive line.
Line drive, extra point, tipped, but it's good. Like the line judge, David Webster, signaled that it was tipped, but either way, it had enough on it to clear the crossbar and add another point to the total. So 35-10, 4-score difference now with 3.5 to go in the third quarter. The latest score for Plymouth, Taylor Russo, 6-yard touchdown run for the junior.
Yeah, this quarter seemed to me the first and second quarter went a little quicker than the third here, as it seems to be a lot of stoppage of play, too. Penalties and timeouts and officials' timeouts, and I'm going to take that as an official's timeout, Nick, further down here. That's because they haven't taken, both timeouts are all there. So that was an official's timeout.
So 3:28 to go in this third quarter. Plymouth, after the great punt return by Logan Marsh, a very short field to work with.
Who's looked good.
String it together in 4 plays, 15 yards, 6-yard touchdown run again for Russo. And it's now 35-10. That has not deterred the fans, though, from leaving. The substantial here on the near side is full. You see folks on the far side camped out on the hill.
Yep.
And nobody going anywhere, despite the lopsided nature of this one. Meanwhile, sliding return
Well, why not, Nick? You're up by 4 touchdowns. Why would you want to give that? Why is it? Who cares if it comes out of the 38? Your defense is winning the battle. You just don't want a special teams mistake and a run back. So, this isn't just about the players performing in the field. The strategy and the game plan that the Plymouth coaching staff has put together here, and the high level of execution that has been delivered out in the field is a whole team, a whole community-wide effort. We talked about that last night a little bit, and I think Coach Cathcart said this is the kind of opponent you face when you play Plymouth. You're facing the whole community.
Meanwhile, another whistle.
Trinity with a very strong football community as well, going back decades, generations, but just not sinking well tonight. Had some early mistakes that they were going to have to. I think everybody figured they had to. I did. They had to play almost a perfect game in order to be able to pull this one out. But they can take this film and learn from it. Game's not over yet. There's still a whole quarter. But what they got to do right now is one offensive play set at a time. They have to get themselves back in sync. And I think Service getting outside the pocket is a lethal combination.
Service hit there on the release.
Yeah, he's been getting banged a couple times inside there.
Took a shot.
Yeah, he
just got that one away in time, but the junior
he's
in some clear pain.
He felt that one. Last set he did the same thing, Nick. You could see it there as well. But are they going to replace him? I think.
He's still in there right now. Took a low blow from Eli Crane, one of the 4 Plymouth captains.
This is a timeout, I think, Trinity.
And Service, you can see, trying to hang in there, but in some discomfort. Got a timeout on the field. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing. Family owned, over 50 years in the community. Start your next project at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. Trinity out of the timeout, facing a 2nd down and 10. Just over 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Still willing to fight, down 25. Handoff left side. Cautious run there for Tommaso, excuse me. Who was flung down there. Stopped again by Shannon, who's been very busy in the trench tonight for Plymouth. And Crane in the area as well. Gain of 3 yards. And a 3rd down and 7 on the way. Plymouth tonight scored the first 22 points. Dominated the time of possession in the first half. Ben Valente led the club in carries, yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, boy, they filled that hole quick, didn't they?
3rd down and 7 goes nowhere.
It was 63.
Yeah, that's Aiden Bryant, 6'3 junior.
And I believe 83 was in there for support, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Shannon again.
You want to take a look at this replay, folks. You're going to see a hole get closed so tight, like a Venus flytrap. Look at that. Actually, it was 63. 63, excuse me, as you said. Yeah.
That was Bryant and Shannon. And just getting back to the recap, Steve, Trinity, they got their lone touchdown tonight with a 50-yard connection from Service to Tommaso in the final minute before halftime. 22-7 our score then. Opening series third quarter, Pioneers added a 35-yard field goal off the foot of right-footed junior kicker Connor Bishop. And here is Bishop again on the punt on 4th down. Another good one.
That's
going to take a bounce away from Marsh, who's going to let it go inside the 25. It's down shy of the 20.
Nice kick.
Plymouth, though, has scored 13 unanswered points.
Yep.
Thorne with a 5-yard run, extra point missed. Taylor Russo, 6-yard touchdown a moment ago. Extra point off the foot of Luke Diamond, good. So that is where we are, 35-10, inside of 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3.
Yeah, but I had the odds on something like a 24-14 or 24-10 game, and I did have Plymouth favored just by what you've seen, and but I had it as close as Trinity pulling it out as well. But this is as I said, a well-oiled machine, and
Plymouth are going to keep the foot on the gas here. Starting unit still out, minute 46 to go. Third quarter, they go back to their workhorse, Valente, right side. He's got a first down and then some.
Well, now he's 170, right?
Oh, yeah. Tracked down by Dom Datone, but not before a 13-yard pickup. Over 100 yards in that first half unofficially, and he's working towards 200 now. Over the final 100 seconds here of this third quarter. Reminder, tomorrow we're busy. Division I doubleheader. We get going at 1 o'clock. Pinkerton at Wyndham. And then at 6:30, it's Bedford and BG. So we're just getting fired up here this weekend. Week number 3 statewide on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. To the gun now for Diamond on 1st and 10. High snap, handoff, right side again, Valente. And he continues to ground and pound across the 40 to the 45. And a first down after 12 more brings him to the 47.
He's all business. See how he gets back to the huddle? I mean, he just rattles off yards, carries people along the way, and then gets up and then recoils, and he's just, wow.
He's been the workhorse tonight. Plymouth's going to bring this third quarter clock down inside of a minute.
Methodical, good play sequences as far as the calling, offensive play calling is concerned.
Going to stay in the gun here.
Yep.
5-man front for Trinity. Valente, right side run. You guessed it. Bursts through the hole. Changes directions. First down. Tap dancing at the Trinity 35. Going to lean down inside the 34.
He's going to sleep well tonight, and the backers that have been had to tackle him are going to sleep well tonight.
I'm getting tired just watching it. 18 more for Valente.
Yeah. He's going to get off, come off right now and get a well-deserved rest. That's a workout right there. You know who else has been very impressive to me too, Nick, is Diamond. He's been just a precision quarterback.
His footwork is impressive.
His handoffs.
This could be the final play, third quarter.
Yeah.
Down inside of 10 seconds here. Long count for Diamond on a 1st and 10, and it's a quarterback keeper. Goes up the middle. He's met at the second level at the 30. He's going to get a little push from his teammates, and they're going to mark him down somewhere at about the 28-yard line.
That's a gutsy call right there. I'm not sure how I'd be running my quarterback with a 5-point, but that's just –
it's a 6-yard pickup.
But every one of their backs is like a running back. So it's a little. They're very, very rugged. They're very.
He's been their third leading rusher tonight. All right, that does it for the third quarter. Plymouth putting a little distance between themselves and the Pioneers. They've got their largest lead on the board. Do they sail home for another victory, or does Trinity pull off the unthinkable with a fourth quarter comeback? We find out next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Well, Plymouth looking good here as we head towards the fourth quarter. The Bobcats lead the Trinity Pioneers 35-10 here in Manchester. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Both teams 2-0 coming into this one. Only one can leave at 3-0. Plymouth has dominated the time of possession, and they begin the fourth quarter appropriately with the football, facing a 2nd down and 3. They call Diamond's number, tries to break it out to the right. He's wrapped up, forced backwards by Dom DeTone, who's been
nice defensive
involved
work
in a number of defensive efforts tonight for Trinity. He's going to hold Diamond short of the 1st down marker and bring up a 3rd down and 1 for Plymouth. Well, Diamond, he's looked good tonight. He's only thrown 3 passes, but he has racked up over 50 yards on the ground. In fact, I've got him for 5 carries, 54 yards. And has been a nice supplemental piece to that ground game from Valente and Thorne.
Yep.
Both Valente and Thorne tonight have scored twice. Valente approaching 200 yards unofficially for Plymouth, and the fullback Thorne right behind him at nearly 100. Got a long count here. By the way, they did give Diamond the benefit of the doubt. Give him a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, on a play action, senior's going to escape the pocket and step out of bounds close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I really liked his movement in the pocket, Nick. Nice step up. You're going to see this on replay. This is exactly what he needs to do. Get some outside penetration. He knows that his lineman is opening him up, opening up his inside of his hip and pushing him outside, and he steps up inside the pocket and then begins to work his way outside to avoid a negative. Look at this. Watch this. Watch. He reads it. He feels the pocket. He knows he's got to step up inside. He knows he can beat the outside defender, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and probably another 2 yards, right?
He's looked good tonight. His counterpart, junior Ollie Service, has also looked pretty good.
A lot of potential there.
Neither quarterback has turned the football over. In fact, neither team has turned it over tonight. Meanwhile, another ball carrier in the mix. It's Eli Crane, one of the captains. He's a 3-year starter. We've seen tonight what he's been able to do defensively for Plymouth, but this one is his first carry out of the backfield, and it goes for 8 yards.
Yeah, so
another weapon.
They just showing the depth. And when you look at the amount of seniors on the Bobcat team, Nick, where are you going here? You got it's by no means top. There's a lot of players. I mean, obviously Diamond's a senior.
3rd and 3. Hand off Valente right side. The whole snapshot. Ollie Service is there. Connor Bishop out of the secondary as well. And in the end, Valente doesn't get a thing. No gain on the carry. And now a 4th down on the way.
It's got to be a misprint. Valente's a sophomore.
That's his younger brother.
That's his younger brother, Matt. I was going to say, no,
yep.
Okay.
You got Matt, the sophomore, number 19.
You're right. There's Ben, number 11, but it's still a junior coming back for another year after that.
They faced the loss maybe of Diamond and Thorne. Or no, Thorne, yes, they're both seniors, so this is the final fall for those two. But fourth down. Stay on the ground. Valenti's been the man tonight. Going to be dragged down just shy of the goal line. It's a 15-yard carry. So 4th and 1 turns into 1st and goal from the 1 for Plymouth.
Nick, he has as good a plant step to cut up field as I've seen. I haven't seen anybody do it better. Let's put it that way. He is really got that down, and that's combination natural ability and well-trained.
Will they give him the hat trick?
Yeah.
We'll see. 1st and goal from the 1. Valente, stretch play. He's in. Touchdown.
Yeah.
His 3rd tonight. Comes from 1 yard out. Plymouth blowing this thing wide open here on the road. It's now 41-10. Another impressive run-oriented drive from the Bobcat offense. Valente has cashed in 3 times. Twice in the 2nd quarter. In this 1 yard plunge here in this 4th quarter gives him the hat trick. On a monster night where he may already
block kick.
Be over
71
100 yards. Meanwhile, you're right. That's Dylan Gartside, the junior. And the nose guard, he's also a member of the basketball team.
Yep.
Tying that one wide. Looks like he got two hands on it. So no good. The second unsuccessful extra point try tonight for Plymouth. But they'll take the 6, obviously. And with just about 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter, it's a 31-point gap on the board.
Yeah, if you told me with 9:20 left, we're 4 points away from running clock. This is an impressive showing here by the Bobcats, Nick. And let's not underestimate the quality of this Trinity Pioneer team. They're gonna win plenty of games, but certainly looks like, at least right now, as if that Plymouth is at better than midseason form of most football teams. And I think you hit the nail right in the head earlier when you say these guys could match up quite well against many Division I teams as well. So, where they're in a Division II team, number 7, I believe, on the power poll.
Yep.
They have proven that is well deserved.
Well, these two teams came in at 2-0. 5 unbeaten teams across Division II through 2 weeks. The other 3 are Souhegan West and defending champion Pelham. And, of course, some tragic news tonight regarding Manchester West's opponent, Conval. Apparently they have postponed games until further notice. Unverified reports there, but not a great situation. And then, of course, Souhegan and Pelham. I mean, they're on that short list of contenders every year. But the way Plymouth has looked tonight, perhaps starting to differentiate themselves as the early season favorite in Division II. Of course, we still need to hear from those other 3 teams, but they have been impressive tonight.
You really do. But you can't. You got to be one hell of a football team to beat this team. They are deep, balanced, excessively well coached. If that's a term. Just off the charts. Everybody knows what they're doing. They're executing at the level that any coaching staff and community would dream their football team could do. They are fabulous. Quick
throw on 1st and 10. Service able to complete his 3rd pass of the night as he hooks up with Connor Bishop. What turns out to be an 8-yard pickup.
Demoralizing. When you have a defense that's demoralizing, that's one thing. But when you have an offense, Nick, that's demoralizing, what does that tell you? That tells you that they just come out and they just smack you right in the jaw with their running game. And we talked about the deception. We talk about the depth. We talk about the offensive line blocking and how they attack the edge. I mean, how they inside and trap you inside. And it's just you could talk all night.
2nd and 2. Service going to air it out, showing off that impressive arm, but getting a little too much air for Connor Bishop to get underneath it. Incomplete.
Yeah, he actually had a little pocket to throw that out of, but he kind of lost it a little bit, and it kind of slipped off of his hands a little bit, kind of went way up. Too much aerial, too much height to it. And but I'll tell you, when Service is on, when he throws a ball on mark, he sailed quite a few tonight, really. He's had some receivers open, take nothing away from him as far as being a quality quarterback. But tonight, he's just had some things, some balls that probably on a better day wouldn't have sailed quite like they did tonight. But an arm he certainly has.
3rd and 2. Back to the ground. It's a stretch play for Henderson, and he's got the 1st down. Into Bobcat territory before he stood up and eventually dropped at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5 there for the former Campbell standout. It's his first carry tonight on offense. He's been busy defensively. 4 minutes gone by, 4th quarter. And Trinity with a 1st down. Going to get the play into Service. Good to see him back running fluently. Remember, he took a shot to the lower body back in the 3rd quarter. But the junior appears like he's near 100% now. He'll be joined by 2 backs here in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the near side left, 1 to the right. Against the 4-man rush, going to flood it out to the zone. Catch made in space by D'Angelo, and then he spun out of bounds.
It'll be interesting to see. They're going to move him back.
Cooper Legacy ushered him across the boundary, the junior. made the play out of the secondary. Your answer is right here, the 48-yard line.
Yeah.
That's a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, he was up against the 50-yard line, Nick, and he kind of got thrown back, and then he turned around, started to run forward. It could have gone either way, but nevertheless, it's back at, like you say, the 48. So
2nd and 14.
Don't need it all here, but they got to cut it. They got to get 5-7 yards to be able to get a good third down opportunity.
Back to Henderson. He's got some room to operate right side. Makes Shannon miss. And then he's down inside the Bobcat 40-yard line, about a yard shy of that first down. Impressive run for Henderson. Again, Coach Cathcart was excited. Get a nice athlete coming over from a former rival.
Yep.
And it's the guy who said you got that kind of a skill set, got to find a way to get him on the field. Here he is, a couple of nice fourth quarter runs.
Yeah, and Coach Cathcart's been around for a while. You're going to have games like these. It's all about staying with your players and then having some serious film review and correcting mistakes and continuing to progress.
Service back to the air, nice completion pass along the sideline, first down and then some.
Nice pass. At least against Plymouth, Nick, if you had to do it all over, it seems when they open things up a little bit, they're succeeding. And I think some of that lends itself to Service's arm and his ability to get outside of the pocket. And to me, if they can, to me, that's the way. I love the offense. Don't get me wrong that they have, but it seems when they do that, one of the stronger players, that it certainly fits into his skill set.
11-yard pickup for Connor Bishop on his second catch. Now on a first down.
Got to cut up field in that situation.
Nowhere to go for Dom Datone. Wrapped up for a loss by your new friend, Steve. Jackson Rainier, who's played well on both sides tonight.
Yes, he has.
It's going to be a loss of 4.
Yeah, that was just, there's nothing there. You've got total containment. You don't run right into it. Coach Cathcart, I could see, was coaching him out there a little bit on that. You just want to cut up field and grab the yardage that you can. And don't try to beat a guy that's already outside. It's just that simple.
Just past the midway point, fourth quarter. Trinity looking for points here. On a 2nd down and 14, service over the middle, incomplete.
Yeah, a lot of contact right there.
Trying to hook up with Bishop.
But I think it was legal contact.
Rainier on the coverage. It'll be third down.
Take a quick look here. It looked to me like there's a lot of...
You see a little bit of a grab there.
Yeah, a little grab in the arm, but it wasn't anything that I would have called defensively.
The ball was also
we're gonna get it better. It was. He's been doing that all night. Been sailing the ball. No, not really. That wasn't. But he's been sailing the ball, Nick, all night. It's just some mechanics that he's just got to fix when he delivers the ball.
Third
got to finish his throws.
Officially, Trinity trying to find the 19-yard line against the blitz, thrown out to the flat, and I think that one hit the ground. Yep, it's a late whistle. They rule it incomplete. Service takes another big hit.
Yeah, it's a really good sportsmanship there by. Look, they're going to play you tough, but they're good guys here.
Helped up by Crane, one of the captains.
Yep, that's good sportsmanship. You do that to quarterback, and boy, Service, as you said, Nick, he's taking some falls tonight. He's been
taking some hits.
Yeah, and a tough kid, and not gonna let it get in the way.
He's going to stay in the huddle here on 4th and 13 as Coach Cathcart wants to go for it. 5.5 to go in this fourth quarter. This one all but over, but Pioneers trying to save some face here on their latest drive. They'll stick with the 3-receiver set. DeGian Tommaso is now the Wildcat quarterback. He's going to run to his right.
Nice stiff arm.
He's looking downfield. He's going to commit to the run at the line of scrimmage, and he's spun down shortly afterwards.
They close it fast, Nick. They close it so fast.
Had to get to the 19. He's lucky if he got to the 25.
Yeah, I thought he had the edge, and they just come out of nowhere in force and in swarm. And we talked a lot about this running game, but let's not forget about this little injury on the field, I think. Hopefully he's okay.
6-yard gain for yeah.
That's a cramp, I think.
It really is.
It's a cramp.
DeGian Tommaso.
Yeah, I'll let you pronounce that, Nick.
He's fought hard tonight. He had the 50-yard touchdown catch just before halftime. Found a little more success on the ground in the second half.
Yep.
you can tell Plymouth really prioritizing trying to take him out of the puzzle.
Yeah, they're keying on him, and somebody else is going to have to beat us from here on in, and that's just good defensive coaching. Looks like he's going to be okay. I think that was a cramp up.
I'm not quite sure who that was.
I couldn't tell either.
It's a Plymouth player, but try to get you the name in a moment, but he is on the sideline. Reminder, tomorrow, doubleheader. Features 4 very good D1 teams. I know you were excited about tomorrow's Saturday affair. 1 o'clock, Pinkerton at Wyndham. We're on the air at 12:45, and then 6 o'clock, defending Division I champion Bedford will take on Bishop Girton from Stello Stadium. So
I mean, you got to figure Pinkerton's a favorite going into Wyndham, Nick, but Wyndham showed me a lot last week. They've got some really solid football players, and they always play Pinkerton tough when Wyndham goes there. Matter of fact, I remember one time, 3 years ago maybe, Pinkerton had to come back from being considerably behind to win the game. But I don't know about this year. We saw them in the Jamboree, and you could clearly see the running talent they had. But their quarterback is really progressing. Their offensive line is really progressing. I'm really looking forward to see that game. And then we have Bedford at BG, and that'll be fun to watch as well.
That's
really a lot of look at Jack May, kind of break him down a little bit but I'll tell you, that was the one piece they had to fill, and they did it.
And the Cardinals, of course, looked good when we saw them last week.
Very good.
In our game of the week against Goffstown. Part of a 28-20 victory over the Grizzlies.
If you've got Goffstown on your schedule, don't take them lightly. Those kids are all right.
Meanwhile, out of the timeout, Plymouth hoping to trigger this clock here. 5 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. A comfortable 41-10 lead on the board. They're going to stick with Diamond at the controls. The senior quarterback hands off, and again, it's straight downhill. Valente going to tumble his way for a first down and more.
Yeah,
all the way to the 45.
A lot of backup fellows in the game, giving them a chance to get them some starting time. And, when you look at these younger fellows coming in, you can just see the same philosophy and same culture. You block till the whistle. And
Valente has gone nuts tonight. We'll add up his total. Got to be over 200 at this point. Just ripped off another 15 there. And here they are at the 44-yard line. Inside of 5 minutes, Trinity still trying to crowd the box here, threatening with a blitz up the middle. And look out. Here comes Valente. He's untouched to the third level. Shakes off another man at the 35. Looks for a block at the 30. Still alive at the 20. Going to cut it back at the 15 before he's dragged down from behind at the 12-yard line. Boy, Valente putting on a show here late in the game. A 44-yard gash there.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he's in the game, Nick, at this point, really. I mean, you got a running back like that, and Coach Sanborn's going to pull him off now.
That may be the end of him.
That might be the end. We're going to see. Got him out of the bad field position in their end zone, on their own end, I should say, and now they're knocking on the door again.
But as you said, he's been as impressive as anyone we've seen. 16 carries in that first half. Really set the tone, I think, on Plymouth's ensuing drive in the third quarter, where the game tightened up a bit at 22-10. Trinity very much alive at that point, but then he adds over 50 yards to his total on 6 carries on a drive eventually secured by a touchdown from his teammate Thorne. Meanwhile, this one is going to bring, this is Dominic Ciotti. Ciotti, a junior. It's his first touch tonight. Let's see where
roaming cam there with
great stuff. Matt Beals down on the field with the camera.
John's on the other end. John Barron did a great job tonight. And
14-yard pickup for Ciotti. Clock ticking down towards 3. Plymouth looking to add another and trigger a running clock at that point. New quarterback in the game as well. It's Caven Sanborn, number 10. Going to take the snap. He's going to find a way to get into the end zone. A touchdown for Caven Sanborn to finish off the drive. Plymouth, they're impressive as the score is indicating tonight. 47-10 with 3 minutes even remaining.
Yep. Sophomore, Caven Sanborn. So you got to believe that if he's in there now, that he and He'll be a challenge for quarterback next year. Be in the running for that,
Yep.
and they just keep reloading players. And
meanwhile, the incumbent Luke Diamond is going to come back onto the field. He, of course, is also the kicker. Trying to make it 48-10. Sanborn is the holder. This one is up and
I think it's inside.
good. Yep, just sneaks it inside the left again. 48-10 Plymouth. Bobcats a few minutes away from going 3-0. Coming off, of course, a trip to the championship round a year ago. They really surprised a lot of people with a semifinal win over Sauhegan. Gave them their 10th victory of the season. And then fell short to a very good, as we know, Plymouth team in the championship round. This year, though, they've been untested. A 55-0 win on the road at Milford. Another shutout last week, 41-0 over Kennett. And tonight on their way to another lopsided win on the road, 48-10, with 3 minutes even remaining.
Yeah, this is just continues to impress among impress. And
we should get the running clock as well.
beating a good team, Nick, by a wide margin. That's just how good they are.
Chris Valente has led the way tonight on the ground, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Most of the crowd here at Trinity is very loyal, Nick. They're
Yeah,
still
nobody
here
going anywhere.
supporting their team.
Temperature dropping a bit. That hasn't mattered. The score has not mattered. It's our very energetic group out in the parking lot pre-game. There's a student section here. The cheerleaders obviously involved. But make no mistake, it has been Plymouth's night here in Manchester. All right, getting set for the kickoff, which should trigger this running clock. 3 minutes even to go in the fourth quarter. Reminder, after the game, stats, highlights, analysis, recap, out-of-town scoreboard as well. Some close games in Division I to get to, plus a preview of tomorrow's doubleheader. That's all coming up after the game. Meanwhile, new kicker, Taylor Russo, scored a touchdown tonight on the ground. This one popped up, mishandled by Davey Girepo. He's trying to stretch it to the right side. Makes his way to the 20, dives ahead to the 25.
Got some speed.
Scattered out of bounds at about the 26. Well, Trinity, after 2 one-score victories to open up the year, we're going to slip to 2-1. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for both teams, we'll have a chance to rebound next weekend. Clock running. As we talked about, the gap 35 or greater in the second half triggers that running clock. Not something we see often, but we're seeing it here tonight. 1st and 10, handoff. Another carry for Henderson, who has managed pretty well in this second half. A little slow to get up after he brings it to the 29-yard line. That's his 3-yard gain. The former transfer from Campbell. Ciotti giving credit for the tackle. And a 2nd down and 7 coming up. Final 2 minutes here.
Doesn't take long to wind it down when it's running steady.
Rollout. This is Ben Edwards, the new quarterback. The senior is hit at the line of scrimmage. Going to lean forward to the 30 and pick up a yard. First carry for Edwards tonight. All right, here we go, Steve. The upcoming schedule. Plymouth about to be 3-0. They'll take on Kingswood on the road next weekend. And Trinity will also be on the road for the 3rd time in 4 weeks.
Wow.
At Pembroke next Saturday. That's a 2:30 start.
Well, I'm sure that Trinity very soon will get back in the winning ways, Nick.
They've shown you enough tonight.
Yeah, they'll show me what they're just. Plymouth is just They're just so deep, Nick, and their game plan really worked tonight. And I said at the outset, right at the beginning of the game, that Trinity was going to have to avoid, mistakes, especially, and that special teams mistake early just took any opportunity to kind of flip the momentum a little bit, took that away from them, and we never really covered. And then the two out of bounds plays, Nick, where there was the late hits.
Yeah,
that was where that game was kind of where it just kept on moving away from the Pioneers, and
this should be the final play of the game.
Over.
Edwards under center, down to 3 seconds. The senior takes one final snap, hands to Henderson. And on a right side run, Henderson is still pushing the pile. These kids will play to the whistle.
Yep.
And that'll bring us to the end of the game. That'll do it. Plymouth dominates. Scored the first 22 tonight. Held a 22-7 lead at the break. Trinity hung around early in the third when it was 22-10, but in the end, 26 unanswered for Plymouth brings us to the finish line. Bobcats win it 48-10. They're 3-0. Pioneers suffer their first setback of the season and slip to 2-1. Coming up, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis, some out-of-town nail-biters to get to as well. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
48-10 is our final. Plymouth improves to 3-0, defeating Trinity and handing the Pioneers their first loss. There is Chris Sanborn, the 11th-year head coach. Pumping up the Bobcats. They were dominant tonight in all three phases. Scored the first 22 points of the game. Robbie Thorne, a 6-yard touchdown. Ben Valente, a 2-yard score and then a 2-point conversion. And then Valente's second score came in the final minute 14 on a 24-yard touchdown run. Trinity showed flashes tonight. A 50-yard hookup in the final minute before the break from Ollie Service to Anthony Dianchamaso. Made it 22-7, and then first minute of the third quarter set up a 35-yard field goal for Connor Bishop, and the junior converted. So it was 22-10 at that point, still with the majority of the second half in front of Trinity. But the ground and pound approach tonight just too much for the Pioneers as Plymouth, led by Valente, continued to expose some holes in the Trinity defense in that second half. Thorne ends up in the end zone for a second time. A 5-yard score for the fullback makes it 28-10 midway through the third quarter. Taylor Russo used sparingly tonight out of the backfield, but he made the most of a 6-yard touchdown. That made it 35-10 at the end of the third quarter. Then Valente, the hat trick in the first 3 minutes of the fourth. He scores from 1 yard out to make it 41-10. And then Caven Sanborn, at the 3-minute mark, triggers the running clock with a 1-yard plunge. 48-10 is our final. Some unofficial totals. Valente tonight, the junior tailback for Plymouth, 30 carries, 275 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And not a bad night.
Work, huh?
Not a bad night for his running mate either, the fullback Robbie Thorne, who had a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, on 81 yards. On the other side for Trinity, quarterback Ollie Service ends up with 74 yards through the air, through that touchdown, and Anthony DiGiantommaso also looked pretty good tonight. 63 yards through the air and 25 more on the ground. Plymouth a winner, 48-10. They'll take on Kingswood next week. Trinity looks to rebound, as we mentioned earlier. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, I think from a Trinity, if Trinity's going to take on a team that plays run defense as well as Plymouth does, and boy, they do. And you're dealing with long drives and with taking a ton of time off the clock. You got to have an answer, and I think that Coach Cathcart did the right thing and opened it up, went to the passing game, and it did change their opportunities. I don't think that their passing game, Nick, they have a quarterback that's got a terrific arm, but their passing game is not at the level it needed to be tonight in order to be able to score an answer on Plymouth's long drives downfield. However, I do see potential. I think Service does a great job getting outside the pocket. He had I counted 7 or 8 passes that he just sailed over a wide open receiver. That had an impact as well. But to me, Nick, this game was taken right from the get-go by the tremendous running attack and high execution, high level of the Bobcats running game. It was just fabulous. Didn't even have to pass the ball. There was no sense to passing the ball the whole game. But I do believe that Trinity, if they work on that passing game and can make those connections, they can play with any team in Division II for sure. They're going to win more games. Plymouth looked unstoppable tonight. And to have that kind of depth and that kind of production from so many players with a quarterback that's a dangerous runner himself, who knows what can happen. We could talk more about this, but one last point. Trinity was never going to be able to pull this game out with the kind of error they had with allowing Plymouth to recover that kickoff. And then those 2 penalties of late hits out of bounds were just devastating at critical times that they needed the most. So hats off to the Plymouth Bobcats, Nick. They earned it. They were clearly the better team tonight. I think they're the better team right now, regardless. And they are going to. We're going to have to watch some of these other matchups with Plymouth, Nick, because they are a very entertaining team to watch. Trinity will be fine next week.
Yeah. Some other scores starting in Division I. Salem, their first win came in blowout fashion, 63-13 on the road.
Good for them.
Dover drops to 0-3.
Yeah.
Salem improves, as I mentioned, to 1-2.
Salem needed a breakout, get a win. Yep.
Keene over North, 23-20. That's the final. Blackbirds,
wow, with
a home win. They're 2-1 on the early season. North in very unfamiliar territory at 0-3. It was at Keene.
Yeah, boy, they play tougher at home.
And again, it's a Blackbird win, 23-20. Nashua South is 3-0. They took care of Lowell tonight, 36-13, as they break it open in the second half. Congratulations.
Good for Coach Knight and crew.
That's
a great win for them.
And that crew for sure. And then Winnicott holds off Central, 21-13 is the final there. The Warriors are 3-0 for the first time in a while. Central still winless at 0-3. And then Concord hung around with Londonderry in the first half.
Yeah, but I doubt it in the second, right?
Lancers keep him at arm's length, 35-7.
Yeah, Coach Lozon and his crew is terrific at analyzing the game and then coming out in the second half and responding extremely well.
And then Merrimack Valley in Division II.
Wow.
They come from behind to top St. Thomas 16-12.
That's a surprise to me.
Is the final score there. So
Yeah.
congratulations to Merrimack Valley with a marquee win. Reminder, tomorrow we're back in action. Pre-game at 12:45, then live for the kickoff at 1 o'clock. Pinkerton at Wyndham in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Astros at Jaguars at 1, and then two-time defending Division I champion Bedford takes on Bishop Girton in Nashua. We
Two fun games.
On the air at
Looking
Stello
forward to it.
Stadium at 5:45 tomorrow ahead of that 6 o'clock kick. Want to thank Mike Connell and his staff here at Trinity, making it easy for us as usual. Want to thank our friends over at Pemmy Baker TV as well for collaborating tonight. And, of course, got to thank the staff here at Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, which includes our friend John Barron spearheading the setup once again
Here
this
early
afternoon.
and ready. Let me tell you.
Cat Doyle providing the cat's eye view upstairs, and, of course, roaming the sidelines, Matt Beals tonight on the Gorilla Cam. Great job by those three. They'll be forced back into action tomorrow night as well, tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, the whole thing orchestrated to perfection by the man behind the curtain, our director, the wizard of replay, Ben Beals, back in the Beals Insurance Studios. For my partner, Steve Beals, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Plymouth 48, Trinity 10. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.